I keep my head down in a room that won't talk. Heavy breathing in my chest. Every word weighs more than it should. I carry what I never said. The roof feels tight, the lights stay low. I move like time won't notice me. I learned to bend, I learned control, but something underneath still breaks. I feel the pressure when I slow my pace, like the ground is starting to give. I don't break, but I don't stay the same. I'm closer now than I've ever been. I'm not rising, I'm not falling. I'm holding the line between every signal, every silence is pulling the truth from me. I don't need saving, I don't need proof. I'm still here, still moving through. I'm holding the line. I'm holding the line. I'm holding the line. I've seen the cost of standing still. I felt the weight of giving in. There's a calm inside the damage now, like I finally know where I've been. No grand escape, no burning out, just steady steps through broken ground. I don't run, I don't shut down, I stay when everything says don't. If I crack, let it be clean. If I bend, don't call me weak. I've been quiet, I've been strong, I've been here all alone. I'm not rising, I'm not falling. I'm standing where I choose to be. Every signal, every silence is finding right in me.
Turn my back because I'm broken on the inside. You think I'm crazy, but you can't see inside my mind. A hollow laugh, a quiet cry behind my lips. I try to speak, but every word just seems to slip. And I keep reaching for a light that fades to black. The more I try, the more it pulls me back. Help me. I'm a stranger in my skin, a shadow in the glass. Every step I take just echoes in the past. I beg for peace, but all I find is silence, drowning in the weight of all my violence. I'm a ghost inside my bones, a voice I barely know. No matter where I run, I can't escape the undertow. I break myself to build the walls I hide behind, but they still crumble every time. Every time. I paint a a smile just to hold the walls together. But cracks are growing, I can't fake it forever. Every kindness burns like salt against my scars. A fragile heart still fighting in the dark. And I keep reaching for a light that fades to black. The more I try, the more it pulls me back. Help me, help me. I'm a stranger in my skin, a shadow in the glass. Every step I take just echoes in the past. I beg for peace, but all I find is silence. Drowning in the weight of all my violence. Tell me if I scream, will anybody hear? Or will the echoes just remind me why I disappear? I don't need saving, I just need to breathe. But every time I try, it drags me underneath. I'm a stranger in my skin, a shadow in the glass. Every step I take just echoes in the past. I beg for peace, but all I find is silence. Drowning in the weight of all my violence. I'm a stranger in my skin, a shadow in the glass. Every step I take just echoes in the past. I beg for peace, but all I find is silence. Drowning in the weight of all my violence. Maybe one day I'll learn to let go. Maybe one day I'll cleanse the sadness from my soul. Maybe one day I'll find some strength inside. Maybe one day I'll feel like it's my mind. Help me, help me, help me, help me.
Exhale like I do. You stay alive the same way I do. But your mind doesn't think like mine does. And you see you need every day to remind us. Sometimes there's violence, others there's not. It's your little reminders that
This hour of the Outlaw Radio Network brought to you by Destination Highway 420, proud sponsors of Outlaw Radio Network.
Never give in. Never give in. Never, never, never. In nothing, great or small, large or petty, never give in except to convictions of honor and good sense. Never yield to force. Never yield to the apparently overwhelming might of the enemy.
You're listening to the Outlaw Radio Network. OutlawRadioNetwork.com.
This country can't be knocked out with one punch. We get right back up again, and when we do, the world's going to hear the roar of our engines.
But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
You do your work, and we will do our bit.
Republic. I like the sentiment of it. It means people can live free, talk free, go or come, buy or sell, be drunk or sober, however they choose.
Are you ready to be who you are?
No poetry, just a straight answer.
The government has deliberately sought to deceive the United States by false statements and expressions of hope for continued peace.
We are men of the hood, marry now at your expense.
But there's no both sides anymore. They're just trying to wreck our goddamn country. It's time for you younger guys to take over it.
You were meant to be here tonight. This is your time. Their time is done. It's over. Screw them. This is your time. Now go out there and take it.
If you guys don't start thinking as men, we're going to have a lousy country.
For the crimes of incitement to cause unrest, I declare to be an outlaw.
All right, everybody, it is the Outlaw Radio Network for the 2nd of August, 2026. Thanks for checking out the show. What up, peeps? What up? What's going on?
Not much. What's up with you, Tom?
Right? Great answer, Tom. Great answer.
This is the stillest I get all week.
Between her snorting and you going,
That's wonderful, man.
No,
You guys are brilliant.
My nose makes
I
for
love
great
you.
radio. Okay.
You don't understand. This is the stillest I am for 3 continuous hours all week. So it's like
It's a mini vacation.
Well, you know what? I can appreciate
love
that.
it.
Would you
Yeah.
like a cookie? Because we have Nutter Butters.
I know. I enjoy Nutter Butters.
Thanks, Lori, for the Nutter Butters.
Some of you, it's the closest thing to a Nutter Butter
I don't know.
you're going to get.
This is true.
I don't know
But
what to do with you people. All right. Hey, Outlaw Radio, thanks for checking out the show. Again, it is August 2nd. For those of you chiming in for our normal monthly chat with Frank Aquila, we moved him back a couple of weeks just because there's so much fun stuff to talk about in the North End. There's so much going on. People are so mad at us. I couldn't be happier. I'm so fired up, man. This is so good. Really quickly, though, before we get started, we need to thank some people and some businesses and some orgs that help make this show go off without a hitch. First and foremost, as always, Destination Highway 420. Beeler, tell us about them, will you?
Destination Highway 420 delivers top-tier cannabis with real Northwest hospitality. Woo! Stop by 1225 Hollis Street, Bremerton, and explore trusted brands, great deals, and a team dedicated to helping you shop with confidence. From everyday favorites to new releases, they've got what you're looking for. Make Destination Highway 420 your go-to shop at 1225 Hollis Street in Bremerton. Proud sponsor of the Outlaw Radio Network.
Was it just me or did she say teen?
No, she said team.
Okay. I'm just
I
checking.
said team.
I'm
no
Polish.
teens.
Get off my back.
There's
Travis.
no
Everybody
teens
beats
at
up
the
on us.
cannabis shop, I guarantee.
All right.
There should not be. Yeah, no,
That was my point.
There's no teens.
We
We also want to thank Tom. Thank you, Tom, again, for letting us broadcast live here at Black Ring Spirit.
Yeah.
Town Square Shopping Center and Taxidermy Shop. Come on down. Tom's got all kinds of locally distilled goods for you. Check that out. Pick it up. Whether you're gifting to somebody else, whether you're stocking up for a party or just something for you to enjoy on your free time.
Or you want to come down and observe, stuffed, mounted, and hunted heads of animals that he's taken out.
Or if you have to wake up next to Paul every morning, you need it the night
taxidermy?
before.
Really? Taxidermy, Kevin?
Yeah, taxidermy. Yeah. Taxidermy.
I am not a taxidermist.
Not at all.
Please don't.
Black Ring Spirit. No, this is not taxidermy. The mall is also a taxidermy shop, not Black Ring Spirit.
Okay.
Oh, got it.
That's why I
There's a
said
bunch of
Town
dead
Square
creatures
Shopping
stuffed and
Center
mounted
and
here.
taxidermy shop.
Okay. Because I mean, I do hunt. I have nothing against taxidermists. It's just not an art that I am.
I think you need some taxidermy in the shop.
I can bring some antlers in.
I think we need some I think we need a stuffed Amarillo.
That would be super
Armadillo.
rad. I like that.
Armadillo, not Amarillo. That's a city
armadillo.
in Texas. Yeah,
An armadillo.
An armadillo.
Armadillo. Hey, other sponsors we got to thank, including Kids Have Great Escape. You guys know that I'm the general manager down there, and I don't know what the hell happened, but in the summer,
Well, when you do radio, you have to have a second job.
Well, I have 3 jobs, thanks. When it's summer, the escape room normally slows down because it's summer. People want to be outside enjoying the weather.
Yeah, I don't blame them.
I don't know what the F just happened, but we've been slammed all week, like literally packed all week. I don't understand how this happens.
But it's been a weird summer, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has.
I
yeah.
mean, we haven't had like continuous days of just real clear, like stereotypical PNW summer. It's been weird and overcast.
Yep.
It's
Did
hot.
you see the
muggy,
raindrops the last couple days? They
Yeah,
were
it
like
rained today.
this big, like this.
It
Like,
rained
you
today.
should not do that on camera. Like, what are you doing? What the hell is wrong with you? Oh.
She's frustrated.
Damn.
What can I say? What can I say?
I was going to make jokes about what happens when certain politicians go to Vegas, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to say it.
Hold on.
Not going to say
No, say it, Kevin.
This is my
All right.
Beeler impression. You gotta get it.
It's like the shake weight.
Paul's really comfortable with that.
I don't
Anyway,
know, man. I don't know.
get-
No,
back
it's
to
more
our
like this,
sponsors. Hold
two
on.
arms and bam.
So, Kids Have Great Escape, 4 great escape rooms to choose from. I can't give away the big news yet, but I will tell you, if you have not played Kidnap County yet, you probably want to get moving on that. Because Kidnap County's been there for a while, and I'm not saying it's going anywhere, but I'm saying if you don't play it, you may not have a chance to. So check that out. Go to kidsupgradeescape.com. We also want to thank Admin a la carte, as always, all the background stuff that happens on your website, on our website. There's stuff that you need to do in the background to keep your mind focused on your business. Go to admin-alacarte.com and check into what they can offer you. Proud sponsor forever of Outlaw Radio. Thank you, Andy, over at Admin a la carte. And then Paul,
Kevin,
the paintball field's open.
Correct.
I would encourage anybody who used to date somebody to invite the person they used to date and go out to the paintball field, work out all that relationship, all that relationship angst that you have. Head out to Kitsap Paintball Park, which is located out in Seaback, and just shoot your ex a whole bunch of times.
Can I just point out?
Yeah.
It is probably the hardest business I've ever tried to run.
Really?
Yeah, because
you ran a strip club full of drug-addicted hookers, and this is the hardest business you've ever run?
First of all, I freely admit those girls drive me to see a shrink. However, this business is much harder because it's amazing how when you open a nude cabaret, people show up.
A nude cabaret.
But in the sense of a paintball field, not a single
nude
friend of mine has had the courage to show up and play.
No, I'm coming out in September.
No, I don't want to hear it.
I'm coming out in September when I'm done my schooling.
When I see it, I will believe it when I see it.
Okay, perfect.
I'm just saying this, because you have the people that want to come out and experience the adrenaline that is paintball, and then you have the pussies. I'm just throwing it out there.
No, I'm going to come out in September. I'm
Which
just
is
still in
every
school.
person in this studio, by the way. I'm just throwing that out there.
I told you I'm in school till the end of August.
Honestly, I can't wait to get out there.
Well, school's Monday through Friday, Dick.
No, my school is whenever I can create time.
Well, then that's even a worse excuse.
I have so much homework, dude. It's so gross.
Sure.
I ran into Chris Stevens today, and she was telling me all about the Puget Sound Patriots picnic that's coming up and the paintball and stuff that's going to happen.
Well, we're going to have
shooting.
We're going to have
targets.
paintball markers out there to shoot targets.
Yeah, targets.
98% of the people that will go to the Kitsap or the Puget Sound Patriots will lack the intestinal fortitude to get out on the field and play. Plus, frankly, we're having to take the whole thing down for the party. I'm not sure there'll be enough need for the cars and parking, but we're taking the whole thing down. So we'll be closed for a few weeks because of it. But it actually
during
kinda
summer.
Sucks. Yes. Think
That
about that.
is-
Just
that
let that
sucks.
Yeah,
that was the weekend
really
I was going
awful,
to come
man.
to.
You're so foolish.
I was going to come this weekend too. Holy shit. Not really,
Well,
but
yeah, exactly. Okay. Like I said, you can tell the difference. I mean, some people have courage. Some people have, just what it takes to get out there and challenge themselves and challenge others and shoot those they have disagreements with. But, others lack it.
Yeah, perfect. Hey, listen.
You're going to get lit up like a Christmas tree. I'm just saying. Kevin's going to leave with so many bruises. He's going to look like he had sex with 42 cheap Chinese folks.
I haven't heard this much bitching since a Terry Simmons press conference.
Okay. Anyway.
Want another butter?
What were we talking about?
I don't know. Your lack of ability to play paintball?
I want to throw this out to the listeners really quick, and I especially want to extend this invitation to Tara Simmons.
yeah.
Okay.
She's not going to hear it. She's blocked us on every conceivable.
Oh, and she's posting about us. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, we
'Cause
sure are going to talk about that.
God forbid you post about us somewhere where we're allowed to read it. Instead, you post about us in a place where we're blocked because you guys are scared of us. Anyway,
scared.
I want you guys to write this phone number down. Okay, write this phone number down. 360-347-6792. 360-347-6792. We have reopened the Outlaw Radio Network voicemail. So what does that mean? That means anytime you hear this show, during the week, whatever, you can call and leave us a voicemail. Anything you want to say. You can be funny, you can have a character, you can make jokes, you can be pissed, you can vent, you can swear. We're going to play.
You can be Kevin's gay ex-boyfriend and call.
There's no such thing as a Kevin's gay ex-boyfriend.
Hey, watch this. When I snap my fingers.
Would it surprise you to know? Never mind.
When I snap my fingers, you will forget you were gay.
Whatever. Shut up.
Whatever you say, Kevin,
if
it's
you
all
want to
good.
leave a message for us,
Look at that. He forgot.
You can say whatever you want to say and we'll play it. I say this specifically to Tara Simmons because Tara Simmons doesn't want to have a two-way conversation. So if she'd like to have a one-way conversation with herself, she can call that number, 360-347-6792, and she can leave the message. And whatever she says, we'll play it. Whatever she says, we'll play it.
Yeah, we sure will.
Yeah, because that's the closest we're going to get to an interview with Tara Simmons, and that's fine.
Well, that's what happens when
if
you
Dari
question
wants to leave us a
somebody's
message, Dari can leave us a message. Spencer Addison
Have
wants to
some
leave us a message.
integrity, and we wouldn't have to
He
question
can
it.
leave us a message. Anybody, elected official, normal person, anybody, you leave a message, we'll play it. And that I'm gonna check it all the time, and we'll do it next week. We'll play it out next week, so that'll be great. And if nobody does it, we won't do it. That'll be fine. We'll just I want to give.
Let me know, and I'll call with some fake voices.
I want to give you guys the opportunity to interact with the show in whatever way you're comfortable doing so. So if you want to leave a message, and Holly, that includes you too. If you want to leave a message and it's not more than
You'd have better look bringing dinosaurs back to life.
Well, she's mad she can't comment, so I'll let Holly leave a voicemail message, and as long as it's got some content to it, we'll play it.
Isn't that amazing how somebody will rearrange some facts to meet their own narrative? Like the last post I saw from her was on like the Bainbridge Island post. Now this is the only person she has the distinction of being the only person we've banned from chat on this show, right? And for very obvious reasons, because she had blocked hosts on this show, so she felt she could say whatever she wanted with no retort, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she could accuse us of whatever, do whatever she wanted, and it'd just look like we were ignoring her. And that's what got your ass banned. And you know, I don't even know what else to say about it. It's just, you know, there are certain people on this planet that like this life just isn't good for, you know, and you got one foot in the pine box.
Yeah.
And just hop in. I'll nail it shut for you. It's cool.
Yeah. Perfect. That's Paul has a mission, and that's Paul's job. All right.
That's a tertiary mission, man. It's like so far down the list, it's almost
Tushy?
unrepresentative. Tertiary.
Comments in chat. Lila says vote Kristen Lilligard. I hope I'm pronouncing that last name right. For the 23rd position to remove Greg Nance. Greg Nance.
Yeah.
Want to know more about Kristen and her campaign? Lila, get her on. We'll bring her on. We'll talk to everybody. Literally everybody.
Yes, 100%.
Even Tara.
We have a policy here. We've had it for over 20 years. And that's that whenever we bring somebody on for their first interview, right? First of all, there's nothing to talk about policy-wise, right? Except that their ideas. But we will always give every candidate their first interview as a way for them to introduce themselves to the community, just like we did for Daria and other. We did it for Tara Simmons and others, and we will always do that. It's not for us to make our opinions known about the candidate. That's why we talk about the candidate behind their back. That's the segment. That's what we call it, right? After they're off air. But listen. We want our electorate to be educated. We want them to be informed. We want them to be able to make a rational decision based on whatever information they perceive as important. And that's why it's so important for us to have candidates on and give them the platform to be able to speak their piece.
Lila, post some info in the chat then, because the primary is Tuesday. We'll talk about that in a minute as well. Put a link in there if they've got a platform page or a website or a Facebook page or something, so that we can get it, so we can get that out. Gosh, they're going to have a hard time making it out of that primary, though.
Well, listen, and we will give Democratic Socialists an opportunity. We'll give Communists an opportunity. We'll just make our feelings known when they're done.
Yeah.
Behind their back.
Well, yeah. I mean,
no, not behind their back.
No, that's what we call it.
Straight to their face.
No, that's what we call it. The first interview is always about just getting to know the candidate, right?
Yeah, then we talk about them behind their back. Yeah.
Because I'm just going to say this because we love you, Alicia. You're part of the family now. But even the first time Alicia here came on, right? You seemed nervous as heck.
I was so nervous. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, and but we appreciated it. You know, we tried to just give you a chance to.
I know you guys
yourself.
were great.
So,
you guys were like, never mind. I'm not going to say
They're
it.
wonderful people.
But it was good.
Just ask us. We'll tell you.
We're wonderful people. Okay, can we talk? What should we open with? Should we open what everybody wants to hear us talk about, or should we tease them with it and make them wait just a little bit and talk about the primaries?
Let's talk about the primaries
Let's
first.
talk about the primaries.
Yeah.
So most of the primaries are generally
later.
Most of the primaries are generally going to be boring as hell because there's two people running. Half of
them, the results are already known. The only known thing we don't know is the numbers.
Yeah. And so I'm gonna run through some of these really quick. And if you guys want to talk about it or think it's worth getting into, we'll get into it. And if you think it's like, this is moot, we don't even need to go there, we won't go there. And we'll save District 23 State Rep Position 1 for last because night terror. Okay. So the one that Lila was just talking about, Greg Nance, Lance Bird, Kristen Lilligard. That's State Representative Position 2 in the 23rd District. Greg, the Democrat, is the incumbent running against Kristen, another Democrat. I believe Kristen is a little more to the left side of the political aisle as Greg. Lila, you can correct me if I'm wrong. And then Lance, the Republican.
Mhm.
I don't know. Is it a safe conclusion that Lance makes it as the second person in that district, or is the North End blue enough that they could pick 2 Democrats?
I don't think so. Right. I would say this, and I'll give you a second here, Tom. But I think that the Democrat vote's going to get split. Right. We know that represents about 60% of the electorate. Right?
Yeah, 65.
Yeah, and we also know that every Republican that runs gets between 32 and 36%, especially in the primary. So having said that, I mean, I think it'll be close. It'll be within 3 or 4%, but I don't think it'll be that close. Does that make sense? I think the Republican and the Democrat are going to end up in the general election. Could be wrong.
Yeah,
been wrong before.
Tom,
twice.
Hey, actually, I was going to go about it a different way, but end up agreeing with Paul. I think some of the like outlying areas up in the 23rd tend to probably be a little more red. So
you set up north?
Yeah.
Really? Explain this.
Like, you don't think out around like some of the outer reaches of Kingston?
They could be. That's why I should explain.
Kingston and Hansville, Seabeck. I think there's a little bit more conservatism out there.
Yeah, no, they could be. I know that you study that stuff more closely than I do. So I'm not saying you're wrong.
Yeah, I with regard what you were talking about with results at the North End, though, I mean, I think it shakes out to kind of, potato.
Tomato. Okay. Tom, I love what you're saying, but I don't, the numbers we've seen out of the North End the last several elections hasn't backed that up. So maybe there'll be people that'll get out and vote that hadn't been voting that are conservative on the North End. But normally, like Paul said, we're seeing 35% of the electorate that vote in these elections, Republicans in the North End.
Well, the last numbers that came out, in case you guys didn't see them, was only to as of last, I think it was Thursday, only 10% of the electorate had voted so far in the
I
primary.
know our numbers are so low
Yeah.
in Kitsap.
Yeah.
Like seriously, just turn in your damn ballot. I don't care who you vote for.
I haven't turned mine in yet.
Can I ask a question?
Actually, I haven't either, but it's filled out.
Is that
it's on my to-do list.
Is that a plus for Republicans? Meaning,
No.
Well, hold on. Let me tell you why I'm asking that question.
Okay.
Democrats usually tend to vote earlier, and they tend to take advantage of mail-in. Republicans tend to vote later, and they usually take into to drop boxes.
No,
Yeah.
Republicans. Is that right?
And that's in Washington. That is not statistically true in other states,
Right.
but in Washington, yes. Republicans. Jeez, Kevin, way to turn off your ringer during the live
Maybe it's Sarah
podcast.
Simmons. You should answer it. Answer it live on air. Put it on speakerphone.
No, I don't know who that is. I'm not. It could be an ex-girlfriend. We're not. No, sorry. They can
You're
leave a
like, I
voicemail.
ghosted her for a reason.
Oh, it's that crazy girl. I don't know who it is. I don't know. They'll leave me a message.
Yeah,
But no, my question is, does that mean, is that good for Republican? Is that good for the election in the sense that it means that less Democrats are motivated to get out in the primaries, and the Republicans will be a little more vote heavy on the back end?
Are
I guess
you
is my
talking
question.
statewide,
No,
countywide?
in the county. I don't. The state
Man.
is a mess, but in the county.
I'm going to tell you something.
Mhm.
I don't think it really matters. Like, I don't know why we hold on to our ballots till like right before election day. I don't know what we think is magically going to happen.
Nothing.
They get our ballot, they put it through the machine.
Voted yet?
I did vote. I
No,
just
you just said you hadn't turned in your ballot yet.
what, bitch? I've been working all the damn time.
Well, isn't that a good reason for not turning in your ballot?
It is on my to-do list tomorrow. I just
Okay.
said that.
Just checking.
Man, don't make me fuck you up tonight.
Somebody's on the something.
I know. I'm just playing. I'm playing, buddy.
All right.
Look, Amber wasn't even scared. She didn't even look up. She's like, oh,
No, she's
Amber wakes up.
Paul's gonna get slapped. He's
Amber
already-
wakes up and has to look at Paul's face every morning. There's nothing that can scare her.
Aw.
Damn, dude.
She's gonna die and go to hell, and Satan's gonna be like, "Oh, you woke up next to Paul. Would you like a job?" I mean,
Oh,
it's
come on.
You, know,
You can't steal a Sam Kinison
I
joke.
certainly can. I certainly can. All right.
You suck.
Okay. Other.
Did you change your Facebook status?
Yeah.
Is it still changed?
It's still changed. Yeah.
I don't think it's going to make a difference when our ballot goes in, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
It
Well, you
really
have a lot-
doesn't.
You
I
have
just
a lot more
I just
knowledge.
wonder if it
Hold on,
helps.
hold on. She has a lot more
It doesn't.
knowledge.
It doesn't. There's no difference.
You think so?
No.
I wonder if it helps somebody like Nance. Not like Nance. Sorry, like Lance Bird.
It's not like they're tallying the ballots right now, you guys.
Yeah.
They can't do that until election day legally.
But does it mean that less Democrats are voting overall if the primary numbers are so low and Dems normally vote earlier?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think so.
No? Okay.
No, because, in any political type thing like that, there's always going to be a shift at some point. So, I mean,
this is if you're in the 23rd. I know we keep going back to the 23rd because it really is my favorite district.
Which is crazy because none of us live in the 23rd.
No,
but
I wish I did. Man.
They lit a fire under our asses that hasn't gone out.
But if you're in the 23rd, it's probably good if you're holding onto your ballot right now. Like you're trying to get to the bottom of this chaos with Tara.
Yeah.
You're probably waiting to find out about the ethics investigations, one of which completed like a week and a half ago that they still haven't released the results for. That we know that there's other ethics investigations. There's probably people up there holding their ballots right now.
And we know that there's 3 or 4, depending upon who you ask, ethics complaints coming down the pipe.
Lots coming down.
Now, in the primary, it's not going to matter because it's just her and Daria
right?
In the primary. But I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people are up there holding their breath waiting to see exactly what the next chicanery is out of the Tara Simmons camp before they...
It's the biggest word I've ever heard you
chicanery.
use.
You can't spell it, but I know what it means.
Was that your word of the day, dude?
That's your word of the day. If you heard that word of the day, please take a shot of Black Ring Spirits. Okay. We're not going to talk about state senator for the district, 26th district, Deb and Gary Parker. We're not going to talk about Deb Krishnadance and Gary Parker because they're both going to make it through.
Yeah.
State Representative 1 out of the 26th. This is interesting because Addison Richards is the incumbent, being challenged by another Democrat, Natalie Bornfleth, and then Republican David Olson.
David Olson, who was out today feeding the homeless, by the way.
Yeah.
Was he?
Yeah.
Paid for everything out of his own pocket. Didn't do anything political. Was just out there giving out food to the homeless.
I think Natalie is a great name on a ticket that's not going to make it past the primary.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Addison is the incumbent with good name recognition. Sure. And I think that the 26th is so close blue to red that I don't think there's any way that David Olson doesn't make it as well.
Well, he's made a heck of a name for himself in the community. He does such good work. For elderly citizens, for the homeless, stuff like it. Just and he's a hell of a barbecue guy.
Yeah. I don't know. I forgot, and he hasn't brought anybody by the show in a while.
That's a different guy.
No, it's Gary Parker's the barbecue guy.
Gary Parker's barbecue.
That's okay. It's good that you forgot because it just means they haven't brought us barbecue in a while. Hint, hint, hint. Okay. This one is.
I will never appreciate your Beavis and Butthead impressions.
Fire!
Oh my God! Stop it.
Okay.
I'm gonna beat both of you.
District 26, State Representative Position 2. So this is one that's interesting to me because this is Michelle Caldeir, Caldeir, Michelle. Yeah. Old
position.
Yeah.
So we have Katie
she's
Cornell.
Technically still in it.
Yeah, but I mean, she's not running for reelection.
She is about to vacate.
Yes. Vacate. That's the appropriate term. Thank you.
Yes.
In the immortal words of Anthrax, get the F out. All right. Katie Cornell running as Republican. Renee Hernandez Greenfield running as a Democrat. Ted Weatherby running as a Democrat. Randy Phillips, no party preference. Sorry, Randy. Bye. Sorry. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, dude.
Yeah.
See ya. I mean, if people can't look at this and have it like a blank idea of what your platform is or what you believe in, like looking at Ted and Renee, I can say I believe that they're probably going to advocate for more social programs and more whatever, right?
Yeah.
It's a generalized thing because it has Democrat next to the name. And Katie, I could guess, and we've had her on the show, but I could guess she probably wants more fiscal accountability and to cut back on some of the budget and spend.
I like Katie.
I know I do too.
She's great.
But I'm just saying, when you have a party next to your name, you can assume some things at what they probably stand for at varying degrees.
Yeah.
When you say no party preference,
peace out,
see ya.
homie.
See ya. I'm sorry. You might be a great guy, but you got no shot.
I think you're right for right now, but if you look at some of the comments and stuff in political posts and conversation, people are getting tired of the two-party system. I think we're going to start to see independents and no party preference candidates. I think you're going to start seeing higher percentages soon.
I don't agree with that, but I think that we will see more of a shift towards the independent side.
I think people are getting tired of the nonsense from the D's and the R's.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah,
I'm seeing it too.
So
and I'm fucking done with it.
I think you're going to start seeing some different kinds of candidates show up.
Yeah, no, it's good. I like it.
Here's the problem with that, Tom, and I hope you're right, but here's the problem with that. Our voter turnout is so low. What's the percentage we have of voter turnout?
It's garbage.
Well, it was
15%.
No, it was just over 10%.
Oh, just over. Okay,
last week.
And how many of that
Thursday.
10% is going to research a candidate that isn't associated with a party? So I mean, yeah,
people are lazy, man.
No, I know, but that's my point, though.
Yeah.
In order for them to research somebody who says no party preference, they actually have to research.
You're right.
And the average voter, especially in this state and especially in this county, is a lemming.
You are right.
So, I mean, I hope you're right. I hope both of you are right someday that we see third party candidates do something. And
like I think this is going to be the beginning.
We need more Fettermans.
But Fetterman ran as a Dem, though. You know what I mean? Like
and he still is a Dem, and
he is a Dem.
He's made it clear he's not. But you know what he is? He's rational.
Exactly. He uses his brain, and he's working for the people in all of them. His constituents.
I will say this: if the National Democratic Party was smart, they would put Fetterman at the front of everything. Every single issue, every single talking point, they would put him out there.
No, because they're trying to kiss the ass of the socialists, man.
Well, that's my point. If they were smart, they would put him out there.
But they're not. Yeah.
Fucking morons because they keep putting out the AOCs of the world. The Bernie Sanders, who isn't even a Democrat, right? They keep putting these extremist individuals out there, and people keep looking at the Democratic Party going, well, the whole party's a bunch of morons, right? But Fetterman is the one guy who's grounded, in my opinion.
I agree.
Anyway, that's all.
Yeah. So Katie Cordell is going to make it no matter what as a Republican. Ted Weatherby, Renee Hernandez Greenfield. I don't know enough about either one of them. I haven't even dug into that because I'm not worried about the primary. I'm worried about the general. I am in the 26th. So once we see who makes it through, then I'll put a little more into it and figure out who I'm going to vote for. I really like Katie. From when we had her on, we'll reach out to whoever comes out of it and see if they want to come on. They probably won't. Tara will probably call them and say to boycott the show because she's scared. Yeah. By the way, every time I say Tara's name, you can take a shot. Okay. There's three races
that's not health responsible.
No.
Yeah, we don't want anybody dying tonight.
There's three races we will not talk about. All of them in the 35th. Carolina Mejia against Drew McEwen. Okay. Dan Griffey Jr. defending against two Dems. Okay. Travis Couture defending against Maria Littleson. Sorry. None of those. No.
They got a great team out there.
Nice try.
Yeah.
Nice try, Dems. The 35th is no man's land, like the 23rd is no man's land for Republicans.
Yep.
Okay. Kitsap County Commissioner, District 3, Katie Walters up for re-election against Kevin Tisdall. Again, two people, nothing to talk about. County Assessor, Phil Cook, the Republican, Michael Simmons, Democrat. Two people, doesn't matter. They're going to make it through. Kitsap County Clerk, David Lewis and Brian Kennedy. Again, they're both Democrats. They're both going to make it through. I will say this. I don't know a Brian Kennedy. I have seen David Lewis in action.
He's amazing.
David, listen, if you had somebody that you wanted to reflect what being a public servant looks like.
Exactly.
David Lewis is a public servant and has been for a long time.
Long time.
Not a politician, not a dude trying to glad hand, not a dude that's ever cared about votes.
Right.
Shows up every single day and does his job. There is very few people for a seat that I would say outside of David Lewis that I'm like, just hearing his name says vote for him.
I'm not afraid to admit that I voted for David Lewis.
Yeah,
good for you.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
I worked with him. He is a great man, and you're right. His heart is gold, and he is there for the public, and that's what we need.
Prosecuting attorney Joe Lombardi, the Democrat, Chad Emright, the Democrat, they're both going to make it through. Kitsap County Sheriff Rick Coos, and Brandon Myers. Coos, the Republican, Myers, the Democrat, they're both going to make it through.
Nobody will hit this shit hard.
Yeah.
After this week.
Yeah. And then the Supreme Court races, here's the problem. We really want
David Olson.
We really want some Republicans to make it into the court to provide some balance. Dave Larson. Dave Larson is the name that I've heard a lot.
He is so smart.
Yeah. But my hope is that people are really researching these judges because it's nonpartisan. So this gets back to what we talked about before.
And listen, it's hard to research judges.
Yeah.
Unless you know how and where to go and what to look for, it is really hard.
Well, and I asked Dave Larson when he was on the show, like, Does it matter if you're a Republican or a Democrat? Or like, how do we research you to know? Shouldn't all judges be the same? Shouldn't it all be black or white?
Well,
he explained it's
no.
not. Yeah, and that's what he explained. Yeah.
It's big time no, right? Because if they run as a Democrat, they're going to run on more emotional platform. If they're a Republican, they're going to run more on a data-driven platform.
Oh my gosh.
That's true.
Yeah.
Right? Do you disagree? Tell me if you do, because it's okay. I'm just
at the point in my life where I'm sick of the fighting. Yeah. Like I'm sick of pitting us one against another.
Well, you're a mom,
except
so that makes sense
for that cut in the 23rd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We will be pitting against her for as long as it takes.
By the way, Janer Kennedy said, Kevin out here calling shots with a garbage bag background. This garbage bag background represents the Tara Simmons campaign. So now you've caught on to the symbolism behind the garbage bag background.
Again, thank you to the sponsors, Paul's Vote for All.
Hey, we're going to talk about them later too. You little just
but it's not a trash bag.
I know it's not, but I just
you know what I miss? You know what I miss right now? When I was an elections director, I had to be a Republican to be an elections director. But when I walked through that door, it just fell away because I was the boss and that was my team. And while I was working that job, while being a Republican, I found a happy medium where I wasn't discussing politics at all.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't watching the news. I wasn't doing any of that. And I was in my peaceful middle ground. And then you know what? You fuckers called me out of the blue and said, hey, Alicia, join our podcast. And then I'm like,
back into politics,
okay, I can do politics one night a week because, I do have a passion for politics.
You do.
But now it's like 5 or 6 days a week. And I'm like, I don't want to be there anymore.
I hear you.
I just. Yeah.
And I feel the exact same way, Beeler. Like, I'm totally content to talk politics on the show and leave it alone the rest of the week.
Right.
But that's impossible.
It is.
People assume that because we're on this show, that this is what we want to talk about 7 days a week.
No.
And I'm not going to drop names, but I talk with a lot of political people, candidates, all of that. And the best conversations I have with them are the ones that have nothing to do about politics.
Right.
Tell me about your family. Tell me about what you do for fun. Have good conversations. Share some laughs. I was talking to a guy this week, and I'm not going to drop his name, but we talked a couple times this week, and most of it was not politics.
Nice.
It was connecting as human beings.
I love that.
Speaking of which,
and
Travis
that's what we should be doing.
Travis Couture tuned in. Thanks, Travis, for tuning in. You're
Hey,
about 5 minutes too late to hear us talk about
We love you. Yeah.
And
Travis,
Tegan
why
Levine-
do people run against you? That's stupid.
Well, and listen, Tegan Levine is tuned in. Tegan, stay safe from those fires out there. I don't think you're that close to them, but never mind the fact that you're still in dangerous country. So
we are going to talk about the fire situation a little bit.
Yeah.
Travis is here. I want to give Travis a quick shout out. He made a post earlier today that just really spoke to me. And what he was doing, he was proposing ways to help assist the people that are affected by the wildfires, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one thing he didn't do was there was no politics in it.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't Jay Inslee, you're a turd. It wasn't Democrats are ruining the state. It wasn't look who mismanaged the forest. It was none of that. It was here's some real things that we can do in Olympia to help the people in need. And I really respect the hell out of that.
That's amazing.
Because there will be time for political blame game later.
Mm-hmm.
Right now is not the time.
No.
And Travis gets it. Travis sees that, and I have a lot of respect for that because, certain people in the 23rd would make everything political.
Right. And be like, oh my God, if I had a house over there, it could have burned down in this fire because I'm always the victim.
Yeah. My daughter's mom is at Chelan because her family has a house on Lake Chelan.
Nice.
And she shared pictures of the fires in the distance, and I was there when we were dating. And I've never wanted a wildfire to sweep down in somebody's house so bad. But
Kevin, don't put that into the universe. You stop that right now. You suck it back.
No. But the shot that she took looking over Lake Chelan to the hills on the other side and the orange glow right there, that whole side of the state is literally getting mauled.
Wow.
Well, so not exactly. I appreciate where you're coming from, but no, this is the Spokane area, so we're talking a 4.5, 5 hour drive.
Well, but this is
Chelan.
There's another one on the other side of Lake Chelan.
There's three fires over in the Spokane area that are tearing up, like 640 homes plus destroyed.
Yeah.
And it was amazing watching our glorious governor give his press conference today. Dude actually stopped short of blaming Donald Trump and not raking the forest.
No. Stop.
What? You disagree?
You have to give Ferguson credit.
I did. That's what I just did.
Oh, I thought you were talking shit, dude.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Typical woman.
I know. I wasn't listening very good.
Beverly, we will talk about that in a minute during tonight's show at some point.
You said that he called him because I did not hear that.
No, he didn't call. He didn't say anything about Trump.
Ferguson called Trump.
Yes, no,
to get help.
Okay.
What?
He didn't say anything about negative about Donald Trump. He was talking about they were putting in for federal funding and all that.
Okay, all right. I misunderstood. Sorry about
Paul's
that.
giving him props for not doing it.
I was. That's
Yeah,
the point.
good job, Paul.
Trump, yeah.
Sorry about that. Didn't mean to interrupt.
Can I have a cookie? I want to give it to.
You're right in front of you, right there.
I don't want a cookie. Gross.
You don't like Nutter Butters?
I
You
don't.
you don't like nuts in your mouth? What?
I didn't say that.
All right, back. Hold on. Back. I'm sorry. I'm better
Shame
than
on
that.
you, Kevin.
I'm better than that. Okay.
He's just changed his Facebook.
The other thing. So there is a City of Bremerton has Prop 1, which is a public safety and governmental services levy. Kitsap County Fire District 18, which is the Paulsville Fire Department Prop 1. I'd love to hear from Rick and get some more information on the city's view on this. It's a bond for fire and emergency response facilities, vehicles, and equipment. That's out there. And then North Mason has an emergency medical services property tax levy. They're hoping to upgrade from the stagecoaches they use in North Mason.
Stagecoaches.
Oh my gosh.
And actually get to
just straight up horseback.
And actually get to dog sleds. Okay. So
that are usable 1 week a year.
Good Lord, you guys.
Okay, so the blanket conversation for the primaries is that they're due Tuesday.
Yeah. Get your ballot in.
If you don't vote, I'm not going to knock you because it's the primary.
I'm going to fucking knock you.
It gets the primary, and if you haven't done the research, keep your ass at home and don't vote at the last minute without having done the research.
I mean, that's true too. Good
But
point.
you have plenty of time to research before November, and you damn well need to do it because November is going to be an instrumental election in this state. Whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, we're either going to continue the trend that we're going. If that's what you like, that's what you vote. Or if you think that we're going a craptastic way, then you vote for somebody that's going to take you a different way. So if you don't vote in the primary, no harm, no foul. Life is busy, researching all these extra people. That's hard. I get it. Some of you have a third grade reading level, especially in Belfair.
Shut up. Why are you knocking Belfair so bad?
Because it's a third world country.
Well, first of all,
Belfair is a quaint little town. I like it.
I like
and they have the best ace with the best employees, except for Jerry at the Port Orchard one.
Do you know that they can't listen to this show in Belfair because AOL dial-up isn't fast enough in Belfair to stream the show?
Okay, dude, you're going a bit far. Ghost Rider. Okay.
No. Ghost Rider negative. The pattern is full.
No, because you ghost every woman you ride.
That's funny.
Wow.
Oh.
I'm just saying.
Wow.
Shit.
How did I make it to 55 and never heard that
you,
burn
Kevin?
Pull up for you the dozen women over the
Can I
years?
ask you a question?
Me?
Why is it when I finally changed my status on Facebook
Yeah.
that you're going to this and still being mean about it?
Because you go too far.
Why would
sometimes,
you?
Kevin.
Why would you
Yeah.
not
Go too
support?
No, also congratulations, Kevin. I'm
Thanks.
really proud of you, buddy.
Why would you not support
You know what
my
really
new
proud
my
of you
new
stands for?
my new
Didn't think you had
relationship?
a fucking chance of doing it. That's what that means. Whenever somebody
Okay,
tells you they're proud of you.
sorry, Anna. Paul's a dick.
I
Okay,
can't help it. It's in my
congratulations.
genes.
Kevin, I'm really proud of you for doing that.
Well,
That
thank you.
shows real growth on his part.
Yeah.
How many women did he ghost?
Hey,
that called you?
hey. God bless
Damn.
it, guys. Gee. And after tonight's show, I'll get the phone call that'll be like, I thought you were okay, but the show has really shined some light on some things. And we might need to take a break.
Anna, we love you. We're just picking on him.
Does Anna know what a red flag looks like?
Oh.
We're just kidding. We like Anna.
We do like you.
Speaking of red
She's
flags,
good people.
She
Amber,
really is. I
how
love
many
her
red flags have you
energy.
seen with Paul? Let's just be honest.
All right, let's go.
All right. So that's it. If you haven't, I don't want you to willy-nilly vote in the primary. If you don't know yet, then just leave your ballot at home.
You know who does want
But
you to
prep for
willy-nilly
November.
vote on
Who?
the primary?
Hmm.
Drink Tara Simmons.
You think she wants people to vote in the primary?
Yeah.
I think
No,
she
she wants
doesn't.
people to vote willy-nilly. She doesn't. She does. Listen,
Yeah.
she made it very clear on this show 2 years ago that she was proud to have run in the 23rd because she never had to change who she was. She always got to be herself. And I'm not saying, listen, on the surface, that sounds like a wonderful comment to make. But what she was really saying is, I can shoot somebody in the middle of Fifth Avenue in New York and still get elected.
Didn't Donald Trump say that?
Yes.
Well,
Okay.
here's the deal. Kristen Illigrand
Yeah.
was originally supposed to run against Tara. and then switched and went to Greg. And Tara tried to get Daria to switch and run against Greg. So as much as Tara said on this show, I'm not worried, and tells people she's not worried, I think she's worried as hell because she wants no one to run against her. That tells me that she's terrified of somebody competent running against her. Why don't you go run against her? And by the way, I still think Greg needs to develop a spine, because if my seatmate was actively telling people don't run against me, run against Greg, I'd be offended. I'd be pissed.
He may have been. We don't know how he felt about it.
But he's still the word. According to Tara's camp, he endorsed her.
Well, guess who didn't endorse her?
No, tell us, Paul.
The Kitsap County Democratic Party in the 23rd.
What?
Just saying.
What?
Just
the incumbent didn't get endorsed?
Or
did they both get endorsed, or did neither get endorsed? Neither got endorsed.
Well,
okay.
I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. All I know for certain is that they did not vote to endorse Tara. I do not know if they voted to endorse anyone, or if they voted to endorse Daria.
Maybe somebody can chime in and chat. Maybe someone knows.
Someone in to know.
I know that they did not side with Tara. So regardless of whether they endorsed both or chose not to endorse anybody, they did not sign with Tara, which, if you're an intelligent human being on the 23rd, that should tell you all you need to know.
That should be an alarm going off in your head.
Mm-hmm.
The question was asked in chat, statement was made by Beverly.
Hi, Beverly.
Tara is a see you next Tuesday.
Did she say that? Wait.
She said Tara is a C.
Oh my gosh. It's spreading, Beeler. Look what you've done.
I know. We're going to become. Yes, I love it.
It's social contagion.
We're going to become a country that doesn't mind when you say cunt. Because sometimes cunt can be fancy. Cunt can be a fancy word.
You know, I thank God that when she came and joined the show, we were no longer on AM radio. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, we'd have been done a long time ago.
Oh yeah, you'd be done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, people making FCC complaints about us would have actually
our sponsors would have to kick in more money to cover all those fines.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, those are reasonably sizable fines.
Yes.
Okay, maybe not. We just be done.
We're talking 10K a pop. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Not fun.
Good thing we're not governed by the FCC.
25 years, Kevin and I never had a fine to deal with. So
he's in deregulation grant.
We did. True story. When we were doing the podcast before we came back on AM, we did have FCC vans outside of the.
And they shut us down.
And they shut the website
somebody,
down.
I don't know who said it, but somebody made the comment that I would never fight against my country, but I would fight every day of the week and twice on Sundays for the things and the values that made our country great. Somebody took that wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who or why, but
it's
not my
that's
fault.
That's insane. Wow.
It's totally my fault. Totally my fault.
Totally your fault.
Totally my fault. Yeah. They literally hacked our website, killed our feed, and then left the calling card. We got you in the
script of our website. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm not going to repeat that because we can't vet it.
Yeah, that's true.
Terry shared some information. People can go read it if they want to. Terry, thank you for sharing that. But we can't vet it, so we don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if some percentage of membership voted for or against Tara, and I don't want to lead with it like it's something just because it's in chat. So maybe a bunch of them did. I don't know. Here's the deal. The fact that you're even
if they did, they're stupid.
Well, but the fact that we're even having the conversation should set off red flags like Amber has every day she wakes up next to Paul. It should set off red flags. It should be an alert
off your head, shit down the hole.
It should
appropriately.
It should be an alert to Democrats on the north end that there's an issue. When you've got Democrats hand over fist coming out in support of Daria against an incumbent, that should say something. That should say something really tangibly. When you have Democrats chiming in on this show's posts and comments and threads and chat boxes, all saying the same thing. A, we love what you guys are doing. Thanks, we love you too. But B, Tara's got to go and Daria is the right guy for this job. Yeah. That's got to tell you something. And these aren't just people that live in Daria's backyard. These are movers and shakers in the Democrat Party on the north end that are all saying the same thing. Tara uses people until she can't use them no more. Then she discards them for the next people that she can use.
And she has her cronies pick on people.
So I listen, I understand and appreciate where you're coming from, stating that we couldn't vet that. So, but to be completely fair, I don't give a shit. So I'm going to say what was said here.
Go ahead.
Under the auspices that I can't vet this, but I don't fucking care because I said that this statement alone says more than anything else. Last night at the meeting, I failed to word an endorsement motion correctly. 74% of our membership voted for Rep. Simmons to have sole endorsement in caps. My mistake cost Tara Simmons her approval. Her opponent is once again saying she had a vote of no confidence. That's not what he fucking said. What he said on his post was, how can you say no confidence? He was making the point that her not garnering the endorsement was effectively a vote of no confidence. So when you make a post about stating things correctly and talking about the truth, well, shut the fuck up.
Do you guys want to hear what Tara had to say about us?
Yes, I do. Let's hear it.
Listen, I would love to hear it, but I don't care. So,
I want to show this.
Excuse myself from the table for a moment.
So this was on a. Are you really leaving?
I got to piss. Thanks for pointing it out.
Oh my gosh!
I mean,
wow.
Really, dude?
Break is in 13 minutes, Paul.
Just let.
I'm
Polish.
Maybe there's something wrong with his. I don't know. Bladder.
Yeah, bladder's the word. That's the word.
So somebody made a post, and I think they were calling us irrelevant, which is fine, or irreverent. I don't know. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter.
You know what? These are not irrelevant. Suck it.
Anyway, so Tara replied back with this. I want to read this to you.
Okay.
I don't know what you mean by this post, but to the person who's irreverent, and I don't know if it's us or her or whatever. I'm not going to try to guess it. I'm a real person and always here to give you the truth and evidence about any questions you have about me. Well, that's a lie, Tara, because we've had a lot of questions you refuse to answer, so that's BS. I enjoyed meeting you at your house for Government Ferguson's event. Okay, kissing ass to people that are big donations. That's fine. Then I saw you posting irreverent articles and tying them to me and some other concerning things. My door, phone, and email remain open to you. Just send me an email if you wish to be informed on anything, tarad35@gmail.com. Then she gets to us. That radio show is not factual. It is pretty disgusting most of the time. Oh, thank you. They talk badly and spread misinformation often. I would like an itemized list of the misinformation we've spread. Please send it to me.
Yeah.
Not just about me, but public service on both sides at times. You mean we're not partisan?
Holy shit, she just admitted it.
Which means we're probably right.
Oh.
Then she said, they hated Michelle Calder also because she wasn't far right enough.
Nope, that wasn't it.
I'm going to come back to that in a minute. It's funny because her and I had dinner a couple of weeks ago, and now her cases are the ones defending me.
Oh my God, that's so funny. What is funny about that?
First of all, we didn't have an issue with Michelle Calder because she was or wasn't right enough. That wasn't the issue.
Not the issue at all.
The issue is that she assaulted a woman at a Republican PCO meeting. An older woman, she assaulted her. There's witnesses to that. It's on record. Complaints were filed. She's a horrible human being. She's rude. She's mean. She's dishonest. She defrauded two 11-year-old girls out of money that she promised them for walking in the parade. Those girls were my daughters. So you can't even tell me I don't know the facts about that story because I've only been talking about them for the last 9 years. Okay, so...
He has.
We don't even get far enough into Michelle Calder to talk about her rightness or lack of rightness to hate her. We just think she's an awful representative for the district. She's dishonest as hell. She's made a whole bunch of money off the dental lobby. And she's an attention monger like Tara Simmons. I'm glad you guys are friends. I hope you guys can hang out together at the sock hop and go looking for dates together and maybe share an ice cream sundae or a milkshake with 2 straws.
They can share their victim stories.
And when both of you are out of Olympia after January, when both of you have wrapped up your time in public service, I hope you two besties hang out and crochet little best friend bracelets together and go to the movies together and let me tell you about my best friend. Perfect. I think it's great. You guys would make a great sitcom, but neither one of you, look at me. Neither one of you are doing a damn thing at Olympia that benefits anybody but yourselves. You're lining your pockets, called Dear with Dental Money, and Tara, well... go. Please just go. But again, the thing I love about this is Tara basically said we're nonpartisan.
Yeah, she totally did. She admitted it.
But how many times has she said, well,
They're right wing.
Yeah, we're right wing, but now we're not right wing. Why? Because it doesn't match the agenda that Tara is trying to write.
Because that's what she does.
Last week, we were a right wing hate organization.
Yep.
And now we're not a right wing hate organization.
Mhm.
We pick on people on both sides.
Oh my gosh, that's what we've been saying all along.
That's a jacket I'll wear for the rest of my life. Kevin picks on everybody regardless of their party. Yeah, I do. You know why? Because I'm not waking up next to any of them. So I don't have to worry about repercussions. What are they going to do? Not get elected? Oh, sucks to be you. Anyway. Tawny said, knew I didn't like MC, adding this to the list of why. Oh, there's so much more. But we're not even going to waste time talking about that.
No.
Because
she's irrelevant.
She's leaving. Na. Okay, anyway. Kevin Nelson, breaking news. Paul's got to take a whiz. Why do they say taking a whiz and not leaving a whiz? Because you're not really taking it, you're leaving it. Anyway.
Dude.
Yeah. What? That's what Kevin Nelson said. I was just sharing what comments.
I'm saying dude to you because, you know.
Isn't that true? Why do they say taking a whiz and not leaving a whiz?
Well, they call it a driveway when you park there.
Why don't you just call it a deposit?
Because they call it a parkway when you drive there.
That's more of making babies. You
Oh,
can't take
is that what that
You
is?
can't withdraw that deposit.
You guys ever heard the phrase the early bird gets the worm?
Yes.
Yeah, the worm was up early too. So just keep that in mind. All right? just remember the worm
Kevin,
was
that's
up
one of
early
the best
too.
jokes I've heard you tell in a while. Did you make that up?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm a smart dude.
I did
man.
not actually give you credit for having that level of comedic talent.
I'm a witty dude.
No comment.
I'm a witty dude. Listen, Tara's in big trouble in the North End. I can't wait for Tuesday. I would like to suggest that you guys, because it can't be me, I'll be in a Mariner game. Tuesday night, you guys should hop online and just discuss the results when they come in after 8.
Yeah, we probably should.
Yeah, just do a Facebook call.
We
or
probably
do
won't,
a
but
Teams
we
meeting,
should.
Yeah. I totally forgot that was election night when I agreed to go to a game on Tuesday. So I'll be.
I got you.
Yeah. Because I need to go
I'm
see them
pretty
now.
sure you were like, you had your whip out and you were like, whoopsh, whoopsh, you guys will do election night coverage or I will kill you.
We are doing election night coverage.
Kind of explain why somebody
not
got
for the
excited
primary.
about
In
it.
November, though. In November, we are.
All right. Just
There's our
checking.
Carmelo guy. Carmelo bet ice cream in all of South Kitsap.
That's right.
It's some good stuff.
They do have good ice cream.
Yeah,
And gelato.
Someone went down to get ice cream and didn't offer if any of us wanted ice cream. They just took care of themselves.
Yes.
Why are you gaslighting her?
I'm not.
Well,
You
that's
totally are.
No, that's not gaslighting.
That was a statement.
It's not, whatever.
It's just a statement.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to be more middle of the road, so I'm trying to use some of their
You're
terms.
doing good. You know what's funny is people don't realize, like, when I don't know about you, Kevin, because you went through, like, and I think this is important to make this distinction right now, because we have to reiterate this usually a couple times a year, but we are not journalists. In fact, the only person here that's a journalist is, unfortunately, Kevin, because he actually went through the proper training and everything and all that stuff. It doesn't matter where, except it was the Navy. So it's kind of,
he's armed forces.
journalist.
Armed forces. All branches went there.
Listen. I get what you're saying, and I'm saying this because my son has a friend that recently enlisted, and I did go to broadcasting school. He's going. Did you go to Maine to the NSA's headquarters? Because that's where he's going for.
No, when I was in, we went to Fort Benjamin Harrison, Indiana, on an Army base.
Okay, well, this is
all branches.
This is an NSA base, which kind of I was like, wow, really, for his A school, you know. But anyway,
well, he's just mass media specialist. Is that what he's doing?
I don't know the technical, but anyway, the point just being is that Kevin is the only relative journalist on this show. The rest of us are commentators, right? We sit here, we get paid the big bucks to discuss issues and give our opinions. That's the point, right?
We get surprised by what comes out of our mouths, just like you guys do.
Especially you.
Especially me.
Yeah. But
Peeler woke up the next morning after she called that at Tara, and she looked at her phone and she's like, I said, what?
Yeah. I thought her comment was more like, I'm so hungover right now.
I don't even drink. What are you talking about?
Just giving you grief,
dork.
Right? It's all good. The point being, and I just want people to take a moment and understand this, because like we'll read a story and then we'll talk about it. We give our opinions, right? And one of the first things that I was taught in radio by the former owner of KITZ Jameson White,
yeah.
right? Was he says you got to go in there and create a personality, a larger than life personality, and it doesn't matter if people love you or they hate you.
Yeah.
Either one is fine on any story as long as they either love you or they hate you.
Oh,
right?
that makes me feel so good that I can say the fancy cunt word.
It should, because you embody that, right?
I do.
So it's just important that people remember that. Listen, we're giving our opinions, and I don't know that any of us has ever stated, like, we kind of give Tom some shit for his golden showers, things that he has going on over there. Well, what? You're a libertarian. You talk about it's gold all the time.
Amber was like, golden showers. I know what's happening after the show tonight. Go ahead.
Hell yeah, we getting freaky. Is that what's happening?
First of all, Kevin,
yeah.
No, if
she gonna beat your ass
unless you are looking for a tussle with your significant other on air. I don't think that it's good that you give her any grief whatsoever. All I said was we need to leave at a good moment in time because I got plans for later tonight. That's all I said. Okay, so just chill, brother, chill.
Man, you guys.
It's not my fault. Kevin sticks his stuff where it doesn't belong. That's all I'm going to say.
Tara brought in a lot of people into that meeting, the Democrat Party meeting.
Absolutely.
That never came to meetings, that had never been to a meeting.
That is what I heard.
She
too.
packed in her a whole bunch of her own people.
I bet you they're all in the Paulsville for All group.
Hold on. But here's what's great. Even though she packed all those people in there, they still didn't endorse her ass. So when you're loading the deck and you still can't win, like when you're Paul and you're trying to get everybody on the radio show to make sure that I don't win the race last year and I still win the race, like that's
not what,
you know
I
what
did. I didn't even drive last year.
No, you tried to get everybody. You tried to get your brother and Tom. Anyway, the point is,
no, I just paid my brother to take you out.
Oh my gosh, let it go. We'll be able to hash it out again in September when we do the annual Outlaw Radio Network Derby Dash.
Be a queen in an ice castle and let it go.
When Tara stacks people in there and she still can't get the nomination, well, that says a lot, man.
But that's what's funny about this statement that was posted on the 23rd LP.
Yeah, not only was it a lie.
She was like, it was my mistake Tara didn't get into both doors.
Don't you know your ass is next? They gonna bring you down.
I'm just thinking about that message, right? I'm like, so was the vote off because of how you worded it?
She said she poorly worded the nomination. Like, how do you poorly word the nomination?
Seriously, what do you say?
Person A or person B? How fucked up did you make it?
God.
Says more about her intelligence than anything else. We want all the smart people endorsing Tara. So do you want her or the other guy?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was a good, like, what is that?
Unfortunately, I play a pretty good gay guy when I want to.
Ren and Stimpy. That's what it reminded me of. Ren and Stimpy.
Are they gay?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Why? Do you want to be gay? What is wrong with you?
Amber, red flag.
Did you want me to call you gay? Don't be gay, Paul.
What?
Amber, remember, a restraining order is not another way of saying I love you. Remember that. Just
don't give her ideas, dude.
Amber's like, I didn't realize Paul was hoping to play for the other team. I thought he only switch pitched in softball. All right.
Oh my gosh.
It's a long fucking show, dude.
I know it is. We're
Yeah.
like a third of the way through.
You want to
And we're coming up on the top of the hour.
Which means it's Beeler's potty time. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back out of the break, we will.
We've got what happened in Spain to talk about. We've got Dr. Anthony Fauci to talk about.
Spain? What did I miss in Spain?
No,
I don't know. Just the story I posted in the chat.
Well, I obviously haven't seen the chat.
It's okay.
Obviously we were here working, cutting
Okay,
promos.
Fall out of that chair.
Lila
It wasn't moving for
She's
me.
like, I got to pee so bad, I'm going to fall out of the chair over here.
I had my legs up
hold
on
on.
the stool.
I don't need to know that.
Lila with the best comment of the night so far. Lila says, don't shame Paul's bisexuality.
That's right.
All
Damn
right.
it.
I will do whatever I fucking want to do, okay? Period.
We're going to break. We'll be back after this. It is the Outlaw Radio Network, outlawradionetwork.com.
You're not gay, Kevin.
But you are, Paul. Admin a la carte are specialized local experts committed to helping you run your small business. From general admin and sales support to marketing, digital media and technology to real estate and compliance. Admin a la carte's only goal is to take your business to the next level. Find out how Admin a la carte can elevate your business. Visit admin-alacarte.com for more information. That's admin-alacarte.com. Admin a la carte. Your business doesn't fit into a box. Why should you have to?
Are you ready to elevate your spirits? Look no further than Black Rain Spirits, your local craft distillery nestled in Town Square Mall. Indulge in the smooth richness of our handcrafted spirits, meticulously distilled to perfection. Whether you prefer the bold kick of our bourbon or the subtle sophistication of our gin, Black Rain Spirits has something for every palate. Visit us today at Town Square Mall and experience the essence of true craftsmanship. Black Rain Spirits, where passion meets perfection, unconventionally traditional. On a recent episode of the Outlaw Radio Network,
some of our listeners even appreciated you dumbing it down for them. So, on behalf
Sometimes
of
I have to
thank you.
mansplain for people like. By the way, mansplaining is when men explain things to a woman in a condescending tone. I just mansplained.
That's the Outlaw Radio Network Sunday night at their new time from 6 to 10.
The older people, I know you're getting a little edgy right now, but you better get into me because I don't want to bum you out, but I'm the future of America.
This is the Outlaw Radio Network.
Good evening, my fellow citizens.
It's kind of stony, huh?
It's the real thing. A radio signal from another world.
The United States government presents
The Outlaw Radio Network.
To provide guidance to mankind.
All right, Outlaw Radio. We are back. It is 8:03 on the West Coast, wherever you're listening to us at. We thank you for joining us.
Well,
you're on.
Okay, well, most of us are back, except Beeler, still shaking a do off of Lily.
Well, I know. But she doesn't have a lily. She has like a Venus flytrap. Anyway.
Do you think she stopped eating? Because that girl is just shedding weight like nobody's business.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about you.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thanks.
You look great, Beeler. You really do.
Yeah.
You look great. You look fabulous. That's all we're saying.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
was a
Why don't you get to your seat? So we were doing a podcast.
You want me to
here.
say I didn't mean it?
Doing a radio show here, Beeler. Come on.
Oh, are you leaving?
Is she really leaving? She did 1 hour and then she's out of here.
Bye, Felicia.
All right. Well, why don't you guys move into the middle a little bit so you're better on camera then, so there's not that big gap between you.
I don't want to be that close to a gold dude.
And then we'll move that microphone out of your guys' way in just a second too. But for now, you can just push it back there.
That's fine.
Tonight, the role of Alicia Beeler will be played by an empty mic stand. All right.
Yes, Tony, that was a quick break.
Happy. I'm so happy.
Well, did you know that tonight's show is brought to you by Destination Highway 420?
What? Say it isn't so. Tell us more, Tom.
Looking for a cannabis shop that knows its community? Visit Destination. Shut up.
Can you start over, please?
It's written in English. It's right in front of you.
I'm not speaking English tonight. Now, damn it. Let me talk about Destination Highway 420. So, looking for a cannabis shop that knows its community? Visit Destination Highway 420 at 1225 Hollis Street in Bremerton. They offer a wide selection of high-quality products, friendly service, and a welcoming atmosphere that keeps customers coming back. Whether you're relaxing, celebrating, or exploring something new, Destination Highway 420 has you covered. Find them at 1225 Hollis Street in Bremerton. Proud sponsor of the Outlaw Radio Network.
Nice job, dude. Nice
J.
job.
Andrew Kennedy, I'm going to say it plainly.
Uh-oh.
You worry me.
What did J. Andrew Kennedy say now?
Tom has documented my penis multiple times, but I do not consent with him sharing.
Oh, my gosh.
I got a good shrink for that.
I don't.
That's. Thank God we have J. Andrew Kennedy. All right. Okay, guys. I know that we've got a whole bunch of stuff to talk. There is one thing I want to get to. I want to get to the bottom of really quick because
explains why she didn't prep on any of the stories for tonight.
That's right, because she was like, "I'm out of here." Since we're done talking about Tara, we are out. I want to talk about the big news That happened yesterday afternoon down in Idaho.
Yes.
So we'll talk about that really quick.
Yep.
And so here's what we know. I have a rule in the show. I will never mention the name of mass shooters because they want notoriety.
They
I'm
haven't
not giving
released
to
it
them
yet anyway. So.
Yeah, they have.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a 24-year-old dude.
I had not. You've
the
got
way
more
the
than-
pictures, the way he was holding that AR-15. Yeah, he clearly wasn't very old or experienced.
No. So 3 people killed, 7 more injured at an Twin Falls, Idaho, In-N-Out yesterday afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
So the guy walked in, opened fire with an AR style rifle is what they're saying. That means it was a rifle.
It was a long gun.
Yeah, it was a long gun. Now, what they're reporting is that he died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Yeah.
But what they're also reporting is off-duty police officer and just another dude with a gun returned fire when he was shooting, which forced him to kind of go into defensive mode and not continue trying to pop off people that were there. Here's what the Twin Falls County Sheriff Jack Johnson had to say about the off-duty state trooper and the civilian. Quote, "These people are true heroes in our community, and their actions diverted the shooter and no doubt saved many lives." So take that, you anti-Second Amendment folks, and shove it where your anti-Second Amendment resides.
By the way, this is not something you're hearing on mainstream media right now either. Maybe on Fox News.
This was on CNN.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I was watching earlier and they didn't say a word about it. But,
Yeah, it's in
but I'll
the
take
write-up.
your word for it.
Yeah. And so In-N-Out's had only that location in Twin Falls had only been open for a week.
So it was
Maybe he was a
plenty
former
busy.
employee.
Huh?
Maybe he was a former employee.
I don't know. They've said they don't have any information about a motive. That's a little early in the investigation for that. I don't want to speculate.
Yeah, I'm glad they're not releasing anything like dude was some right-wing extremist or some left-wing extremist or Muslim or something like. I'm glad they actually haven't put that information out. Conduct your investigation. Prevent people from coming to conclusions.
Well, whoever it was, whatever the reason, he was looking for maximum impact. Because I mean,
absolutely,
it'd been
I
open
couldn't
a
agree
week,
more.
so I mean, it was going to be busy still.
And using a long rifle. You know, I think in a lot of ways you're lucky because if you look at what happened, for example, down in California back in the 70s with that shooting at the McDonald's, they're just it was off the charts. Sad stuff, man. I'll never understand a person that is so messed up in their head, so messed up in their life, feeling the need to walk into a fast food restaurant.
Yeah.
And open fire. It's sad. It's also pathetic that somebody felt the need to do that.
I'm not advocating so I hope you guys take the spirit of what I'm saying, and not that I'm advocating for it, but when people target federal facilities or federal buildings because they're pissed off with the government, it makes a little bit of sense to me, right?
Your camera's froze, by the way.
Mine is froze?
Yeah. No, it's a good look.
No, it shouldn't be froze. No, everywhere else I'm seeing it, it's fine.
Oh, nope, there it goes.
You were fine over here the whole time.
Yep.
Okay. So I don't condone it, but I understand it, right? You're mad at the government. You want to take your frustrations or anger out on the government. You're mad at a corporation like Leo Mangione. He was mad at the healthcare industry, so he went after the CEO. I don't condone any of those things, but I can connect the dots as to what they're thinking and why they may have done what they've done. Not that they're wrong.
Like when a dude flies an airplane into an IRS building.
Yeah. Like again, I don't condone it,
right?
But I can figure out like a linear line of thought about why they did what they did against who they're angry about. This guy walked into a place full of innocent people, most unarmed, a lot of families, and just decided to open fire. And by the way, killed one of the In-N-Out employees who was probably no doubt like a teenager. I mean, most people that work in fast food are teenagers.
Absolutely. It's a good starting job.
Yeah. So I guess I don't understand. I can't figure out a line of thought why you would just go to a place where innocents are at. It's like when Sandy Hook got shot up, right?
Right. Or
Like-
any school.
Well, no, when Columbine happened, again, not condoning it, but I could understand the linear train of thought. They felt like they'd been bullied by these people. They felt like all their fellow students hated them, so it made sense why they lashed out at them. Sandy Hook was a douchebag with a gun that just wanted to go shoot fish in a barrel, and the school place was the easiest place to do it with no resistance.
Well, he was a kid with mental health issues.
Yeah, well, or as I call him, a douchebag. And so I just
to be clear, you're saying that kids with mental health issues are douchebags?
I'm saying anybody who goes in and shoots up a school is a douchebag.
Just clarify.
Regardless of mental clarity.
Okay.
And by the way, he was not held mentally incompetent. So he did know right from wrong when he did it.
Who?
The guy that shot up Sandy Hook.
Oh, did he survive? I thought he was killed.
I thought. Hold on.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm. Getting,
I mean, I don't
because
listen
God
to
knows
Alex
there's enough school
Jones,
shootings.
They were all, crisis actors. Freaking moron. If anybody ever deserved to lose his media empire, it was a guy promoting a theory that it was crisis actors in a school shooting. That guy's just as pathetic. And contrary to popular North End 23rd legislative Dems, we don't engage
to
here.
answer that question. He died. He died self-inflicted gunshot wounds at the end of the event.
Okay, because that's what cowards do.
Yep.
With mental health issues. I'm just never mind. I'm done. That's all I can say about it. It's the entire thing is reprehensible.
Yeah. Okay. So I just wanted to get that out there. I think, again, this is a really good example of where guns come in handy. There was another story that got released today of a guy that walked into a church in Texas and opened fire at a church in Texas. And they had security guards, volunteer security guards were in there. And that guy got neutralized by one of the security team that had a gun.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a really good argument to be made for guns in our society when in the hands of people that know what they're doing. Like, again, we can also see when people that are not mentally all the way there have guns in society, bad things can happen. But equally, really good things happen and people get protected and people get saved when good guys have guns.
I suppose this is an appropriate time for me to bring up because we hear when a shooting like this happens and it's a mass shooting, people talk about video games, they talk about television, they talk about the fact that we own guns and how violent we are. And it reminds me of a story that I heard a long time ago. I feel that it's relevant. It's important to point out. First of all, humanity's always been violent.
Mm-hmm.
Can I just point out that there were 2 people in the Garden of Eden? Then they had 2 sons. One son killed the other fucking son.
Yep.
That means 25% of the people were dead and 25% of the people committed the murder.
Mm-hmm.
You had a 66% chance at the beginning of humanity, if you're religious, in getting killed or surviving it.
Yeah.
I mean, so if you're religious, humanity's always been violent. I don't really see how to escape that.
No. Yeah. And I don't think people talk about how politics is so much worse today than it's ever been. And it's way more caustic and way more dangerous.
Considering we had a civil fucking war that was decided by politics.
Yeah. And go back to the election of 1800 and just read through your history books. Like, in 1900, it was Roosevelt who didn't like Taft, even though he helped Taft get elected the first time, and they splintered the party. And I mean, just throughout the history of this nation,
it's almost like Fetterman and the AOC crowd.
Well, politicians that fell into disfavor get tarred and feathered.
That's what they used to.
Yeah. And I don't
Not
think
anymore.
I don't think most people understand what that really means. That wasn't just
hot boiling tar boiled over your body, right?
Right. Yeah.
Third degree, second degree burns all over.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't just, cartoon goopy tar.
Yeah,
It was,
they were stripped naked when it happened to them. So
Yeah.
it's the family jewels kind of disappeared after that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just, I'm sorry, just Captain Obvious over here.
Yeah, I just look, I firmly believe that whatever we are experiencing now is exactly the same thing we've experienced in this nation at some level 50 years ago, 100 years ago, 150 years ago. The difference is we have a 24-hour news cycle that beats it to death, that has a really loud agenda. The media's always had an agenda. Go back to Save the Maine. The media's always had an agenda, but now it's much louder and it's much more consistent, and everybody has access to it.
Especially when you have access to it within seconds at your fingertips.
Yeah.
You know what, Kevin, I have an interesting question for you and Tom.
Let me piggyback on that.
Yeah,
and it doesn't matter if it's true or not. It spreads like wildfire. We need look no further than Daryl Dogs and what happens when news gets released really, really quick and people grab it and run with it and spread it. I guarantee you the number of people who knew about the accusations against Daryl Dogs is far larger than the number of people who knew he was cleared by Bremerton Police Department.
Agreed.
And that's the danger of where we're at now.
Mm-hmm. Well, and just to point to that, right? Like, it is the modern vernacular states what as the First World War.
Wait, say that again?
What does modern vernacular state was the First World War?
World War One.
World War One,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
But what was actually the First World War?
Oh, jeez.
Come on, you guys.
Are you going to say
right?
the American Revolution? No, it was before that.
No.
Was War of the Roses?
No, it was before that.
What?
It was the French and Indian War.
Oh, okay.
And who fired the very first shot of the French and Indian War?
The French or the Indians?
No.
Who?
Anybody? His name was George Washington.
Yeah,
He was the
Washington.
commanding officer in Toronto when they got their asses handed.
No, he was the commanding officer of British regulars and Virginia militia when they went to go into the Ohio Valley, which was actually part of Pennsylvania at the time, and they engaged with French troops.
Yeah,
and not necessarily on
didn't
purpose.
he botch that?
He did botch it.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah.
Most of his men were killed. Yeah. So
have you seen Young Washington yet, by the way?
Oh, I have. Yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah. It is. And not only is it good, but there are 2 more components to that coming out. They're doing a sequel to Young Washington about what he did during the Revolutionary War, and there's another film coming out in November called The Drummer Boy, which is about a young man during the American Revolution who was a drummer boy, and his brother served in the British regular army. Really good stuff. I mean, just if you ever want to dig into your history, all 3 done by Angel Studios. It's phenomenal.
Do they bust into rap songs in this movie?
I'm pretty sure that's nowhere in the script.
Okay,
I'm just guessing here, spitballing.
When they threw away their shot. Okay,
yeah.
All right. We can leave the rest of that alone now. I know that. Can we talk about Fauci?
I think it's a good time.
Yeah, I think it is too.
I'm sorry. Could you ask me that question one more time?
Can we talk about Fauci?
I plead the 5th.
That's the only thing I've really
Did you
heard.
see the Dave Chappelle skit that they edited and put Fauci's face on him?
No.
He's in court, right? So this is Dave Chappelle, but they put Fauci's face on him. Dave
Right.
Chappelle's in court before like a Senate subcommittee or whatever. And they're like, so can you confirm that you were a crack dealer? And he says, I plead the 5th. And they're like, how much money did you make from being a drug dealer? 5th. And he just gets, it's hilarious. You get a chance to watch it on YouTube.
Do you guys understand why people are upset about why they were upset about Fauci pleading the 5th? Do you guys understand?
Fauci received a blanket pardon. Why does he need
from
to plead the 5th?
2014 all the way until Trump won the election?
Why does he need to plead the 5th?
Right, because on a federal level, he's basically, I don't even know if the word exonerated would be right in this case, but effectively he's
Teflon.
He's Teflon, that's right.
On a federal level.
Couldn't be touched on a federal level. However, several states are investigating him for state crimes. And I think it's important for people to understand, look, as Americans, no greater transfer of wealth has occurred in our history, except like did during COVID, and all of it was done at the behest of Anthony Fauci. Now there are idiots out there. I won't mention your buddy David's name.
Nice. Dave is a good dude.
Yeah, just a moron.
Hey, now.
Listen, I'm being real. So I posted on my page Mark Wahlberg wearing a t-shirt with a picture of Anthony Fauci on half of it, and the other half of it basically laid out the reasons why COVID was BS, right? And so this guy actually comes onto my page and goes, "It only took me 30 seconds to figure out that picture was doctored." No shit. That wasn't the point of the post. The post was about showing the idiocracy that was COVID, right? Because I had stated in the opening line, I'm like, I have yet to meet anybody that regrets not getting the vaccine, right? And I don't know. And I'm not saying I know a ton of people that regret getting it, but the point is that all of us that fought back and pushed back against that, we don't regret not getting the vaccine. We didn't buy into the hype, right? Fauci went out there into the limelight, and according to his own diary, he loved the limelight. He absolutely adored it. He wanted more of it. He couldn't get enough of it. It was Fauci the king, right? And that's how he perceived life during the COVID crisis, right? What he doesn't want to do and wasn't willing to do in that hearing was acknowledge that the mistakes that were made by the National Institute of Health, the NIAID, which is the national anybody help me out here. What was it? It was basically the allergy and infectious diseases group, right? Mm-hmm. Fauci approved the funding for the Wuhan lab. We know this because we have his emails, we have his diary. He funded it, which means who funded it? The American taxpayer.
Yeah.
Right? It is important and imperative, and everybody should understand this. What are congressional oversight hearings about? Things we do right, things we do wrong, and to learn from them, get better, and not repeat the mistakes the next time.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't rocket science, right? Well, you got a guy like Fauci who went on TV 2.5 years ago and said, well, if they subpoena me, I'm happy to go in front of Congress and speak because I have nothing to hide. That's Fauci's words.
Yep.
Right.
And promptly declared the fifth or pled the fifth 111 times.
Is that how many it was? Because that's the
Yeah.
only thing. All I've gotten is like a real high level read
Sure.
on it, and of course,
Yeah, and it's okay. Listen, when you lose Stephen A. Smith, when you lose Bill Maher, you done went and fucked yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's lost those people. Stephen A. Smith is one of the most grounded, reasonable, logic people I listen to. I do listen to him regularly because of the fact that he is rational, reasoned, and grounded. I don't agree with him on literally half of his issues. I couldn't tell you if the guy's a Republican, Democrat, or Libertarian. But you know what he is? He's reasonable, rational, and logical.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I care about, right? And to watch Stephen A. Smith excoriate Fauci was the way he did it was just absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
And I appreciate it a lot. If you haven't gone and seen that, just go type in Stephen A. Smith Fauci and you'll get a chance to see it. It's a great hour and 15 minutes. And then he interviewed Rand Paul. Right. And Rand Paul's like, look, I got nothing against the guy, but the American people have the right to understand what their money went for and how we were responsible for the deaths of tens of millions of people across the globe. Right. And he goes, 1.1 million Americans died. Don't we have the right to know how that happened, how it occurred? He pointed out that the Wuhan lab didn't even come close to a college lab. It was nowhere up to standard, and there was no business. The United States had no business funding a dangerous pathogen in a lab that lacked the safety protocols in place to be able to maintain it and control. Fauci also went on to state at other times in other interviews that the risk was worth the reward. The risk was worth the reward.
What reward?
The reward of, quote, learning about pathogens. It was worth supporting through taxpayer dollars gain of function research in order to gain a better understanding of these pathogens. That's like injecting crocodiles with super croc serum and then throwing people in the water to see how they react.
This summer on Fox, Crocnado. Okay.
Like Shark Week, but for alligators and crocodiles.
Okay, let me push back a little bit.
Oh, this should be good.
Well,
okay.
I don't have an issue with gain of function research because
hold on. I want to make sure I'm understanding you.
Yeah.
You don't have an issue with gain of function research as it stands, or in a low security institute in another country.
Let me finish my sentence.
Okay, good. Make sure you word this carefully. Sparky.
So it needs to be in a secure environment. It should not be in another country for that very reason.
Okay, so we're over.
But I do think that gain of function research makes a lot of sense because if we don't figure out what's behind those and our enemies do,
yes, in a class 4 secure facility.
Correct. I don't have an issue with him claiming the fifth, and I'll tell you why. Nobody should have expected.
Hold on. Shh, everybody quiet.
Nobody should have expected anything else. He was 2.5 years ago when he said it. He would have been subpoenaed by a Democrat subcommittee who are going to be far more accepting and gentle on him. He was going before a whole bunch of Republicans that were going to tear into him like dog food. So I'm not surprised he pled the fifth. And to be honest, the thing that I think nobody's talking about, which I think is the real story here, is not Fauci. Like, Fauci is a part of the story, but who gave him the money? Who authorized him to do what he did? Who put him in that position? Who didn't have oversight over him? This is a governmental issue to me more than it's a Fauci issue.
So your issue is with Barack Obama?
My issue is with any administration, whether that be Obama or Trump.
For the record, Fauci was in his position since Reagan.
Yeah. So, I mean, we have to go back and look at the...
That's why it would have been nice to have him answer fucking questions.
Yeah, but again, he's not going to.
He swore on network television that he would answer any questions because he had nothing to hide. Do you know what happens when you claim the fifth 111 times? You look like you got a shit ton to hide.
Yeah, and maybe you don't, but you certainly look like you do. For sure.
I mean, the dude hired like the biggest sleaze bag attorney out of New York, the guy that you hire when you got shit to hide.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a rat's ass about Anthony Fauci. I just don't.
Yeah.
Right. But the same people that are defending him are the same people that got the vaccine, the same people that were wearing cloth masks, the same people who stood 6 feet 1 inch from their closest person, who wore a cloth mask in their own car driving down the road.
Yeah.
These are the people who are supporting him. Somebody went on my page when I made this statement, goes, "You're a moron," or something like that. And it's just like, I'm the moron? I didn't fucking wear the cloth mask. I believe very strongly in natural immunity. I believe very strongly in I'm sorry, what's the word? Herd immunity, right? Because that's what's protected us. That's what makes us safe.
Yeah.
And I had that shit shoved down my throat by dipshits like Holly. You don't believe in the science. The fuck does science have to do with it? It's a virus killing people.
Yeah.
Some people thought it was real. Some people didn't think it was as serious as others, right? This was the first show to report on the COVID virus.
Yeah, we beat everybody to it. We really did. If you don't have to believe us, but we were talking about this in October,
December 29th of 2019.
Yeah, before anybody else was, including CNN.
Yeah. Do you remember the show we talked about? We had Robert Parker and Ben Compton in studio that day. And both of them said, "I don't know what you're talking about." Robert Parker was like, "I didn't have it on my radar, but I'm going to look into it now." Right?
I mocked you, if you remember correctly.
I don't actually.
I did. I
remember
mocked you, and then I went in February of 20 before everything happened. If you remember, I went down to San Francisco to go see Hamilton.
I do remember that.
And I was in Chinatown, and everybody was wearing a mask, and I was like, okay, maybe there's. And then a month later, everything shut down.
It was the end of February. We had our first case here in Washington State, and then by the middle of March, that the nursing home had an outbreak, and they shut everything down.
Yep.
You know, I remember because I was working on your house when it happened.
Yeah. Well, look, I don't think Fauci's the issue. Like
Well,
Fauci.
I think you're being naive.
Let me explain why. Fauci is the issue, like Epstein's the issue. Right?
Oh, this should be even better.
Fauci and Epstein deserve to be held accountable for everything that they did.
Yes. Good night, everybody. Been a great show.
But there's a ton of really important bigwig backroom people behind them that are not being held accountable for what they did. And Fauci got pardoned, but there are still people that routed him money. There are people that allowed him to do what he did. There are people in our government today that didn't do the oversight that are criminally negligible for what Fauci did. So Fauci has the what's it called again? The immunity deal.
Yeah.
Or
the pardon.
He got the pardon. Okay, great. He got the pardon.
He literally got to get out of jail for
a lot of the people that enabled him though did not. And that's where I think we need to direct our energy is to the rest of the people in the government that enabled him to do what he did.
Well, I think, but you can't go after them until you have Fauci's cooperation.
Well, somebody in the chat brought it up also. I mean, there's the conversation about the use of auto pen while Biden was in office.
That is a legitimate issue that's been raised, but I don't know that it's been adjudicated yet.
Right.
So
so Fauci pleading the fifth may be smart in retrospect, simply because if his pardon is not valid, if it's found to be invalid because of auto pen use, then he's in a different kettle of fish.
Listen, I'm not disagreeing with you on that. I could understand that, but listen, Fauci's entire pedestal was based on I'm doing what's best for our country. I'm doing what's best for the world. Well, if that's the goddamn case, then why aren't you telling us what went right and what went wrong and answering the questions so that it doesn't happen again?
Well, those are very good. Yeah, I agreed.
But I don't think those are questions they can answer, right? Like honestly,
they are. Listen,
I don't think they can look back in any discernible way and say this is what worked and what didn't. I honestly don't think they know.
I'll give you some examples because listen, I understand that some people might feel that way. I'm not knocking you for feeling that way, but when you say that to me, that sounds like I haven't really researched it. I don't really know what Fauci's being accused of. So then this, right? And I'm not saying you haven't. I'm just saying that's what it sounds like to me. We're talking about a man in Anthony Fauci who willingly funded the gain-of-function research in a lab that he knew was not up to standard, who then got his picture on the cover of magazines, had his staff apply for grants worldwide and awards. The man was awarded over $1 million in cash awards, right? Like, he personally profited. Now, the NIH owned patents that went into the Moderna vaccine. So the NIH profited from this. And don't forget that they had to state very publicly that this was an emerging issue and that there was no other available treatment, which was flat out false because the data clearly showed that ivermectin and other medications effectively fought the coronavirus, right? So
and people who took ivermectin were belittled and targeted and made
they
to sound like
accused us of taking
idiots.
horse vitamins.
Horse dewormer.
Horse dewormer, yeah. And again, you're talking about one of the most tested and safe medicines in ivermectin that the world has ever seen. The Japanese man that invented ivermectin won all kinds of awards, and ivermectin is absolutely one of the safest medications or drugs, whatever you want to call it, that's ever been made. It is one of the most studied drugs that's ever been made. And again, they had to do that. How many people's lives could have been saved by ivermectin is readily available. You can get it at any farm store, right? And
over the counter?
Over the counter.
Yeah.
Yes. I had a farm. I fed it to my cattle. I fed it to my goats. I fed it to my dogs. You know why?
That's how I lost so much weight.
Because you know, it's a dewormer, and we had to give it to the animals on the regular basis, right? So it was available for us. So I firmly feel that the case of COVID, because we ended up, my household ended up catching the Delta variant, right? It was the worst flu I have ever had in my life, bar none. And as soon as we knew that we had it, we started taking the ivermectin, but I was still sicker than a dog for 2 weeks, you know, but I didn't have it for the 3 weeks to a month that other people did. And again, that was the Delta variant. So you know, it was very potent. And I can't stress to people enough. How do you have a republic where you have a person with the kind of power that Anthony Fauci had who can then just say, well, I'm not going to answer?
Yeah. But again, the Constitution gives him that right.
Well, okay, but that's arguable too. When you start reading the papers of Thomas Jefferson, you find out what he meant the fifth for, what it was about.
Yeah, but the Constitution, as it's written, is you have the right to omit yourself from the risk of self-prosecution, right?
So again, however, Congress made it very clear that pleading the fifth when you already have a get-out-of-jail-free card and a pardon from the President of the United States, there's no excuse for not answering the question.
But there is. You said earlier that he still could face stuff from the state.
Well,
you said that. So
the states are very different,
right? But I'm not going to say if I'm him, I'm not going to say anything under federal oath that the state can then use to turn around and come at me because I don't have a get out of jail free card with the states.
Irrelevant. Trust me, if any of those states decide to prosecute him pleading the fifth in front of Congress will be irrelevant. Because I guarantee you, they've already got the evidence.
Yeah,
they've already got whatever they need to prosecute him, and that's the thing that made it so frustrating. Because again, we can't get better. We can't do things better if the person in charge won't sit down in front of an oversight. You know what the one crime that he was facing with Congress was? There was only one crime: perjury.
Yeah,
that was the only crime he could have been convicted of in front of Congress. It's a goddamn oversight committee, and even had he admitted he perjured himself, he was safe.
Because he had that pardon.
Yeah.
Listen, I think it has to go. I'm not excusing Fauci, but I think this has to go back to the administrations. It's got to go back to Obama. It's got to go back to Biden. It's got to go back to Trump.
Yeah, because I don't know what president or what administration or what Congress authorized, or basically what Senate authorized the money for him to give to. I have no idea. Would have been a good question to know.
I guess my question is who oversees it.
Yes, that would have been a great question to know. It was so pathetic that one of the representatives in the oversight committee hearing asked Fauci what color tie he was wearing, and he pled the fifth. Are you kidding me? One of them asked him if the color of the folder in front of him was pink, and he pled the fifth.
But again, I understand why, which is he was making it clear no matter what the question was, he wasn't going to answer it. He was going to plead the fifth no matter what. He was basically saying, I don't care what you ask me, I'm not going to answer it. And so I'm not excusing it. I'm not okay with it. I'm just saying I get what he was doing. I understand it. The fifth is the fifth for a reason. I'm not going to make a mountain out of that molehill for me. I just think I expected him to do it.
Can we ask a person that was our inside information from the University of Washington Hospital?
Yes, we certainly can.
Please,
but
Lord,
Bill
go
Gates
ahead.
is on the line. Hello, Bill.
No,
Sorry.
no.
Go ahead, Lori.
Go ahead, Lori.
One of the reasons why he can't answer anything is because he pierces the veil. Once you pierce the veil of the Fifth Amendment, then every question is automatically open.
She's right about that. Because had he answered even the question about the tie or the folder, then they would have said, well, yeah, your fifth's no longer relevant because you chose to answer questions.
Yeah. So regarding the University of Washington Hospital, wasn't at the hospital, but adjacent to the University of Washington School of Medicine.
She wasn't in the disease room. She was adjacent to the disease room.
Adjacent organization.
So you're patient zero. Perfect. Gotcha.
No,
Okay.
patient zero was 2 people coming back from Wuhan.
I think they were up north too, weren't they? They were like a little further north, like.
No, they were at Seattle Children's Hospital.
Okay. Well, that's where they were treated, but I thought they were.
They were doing practicum hours. And they had just gotten back the day before from Wuhan, and both of them had fevers, and they were at Seattle Children's Hospital doing practicum hours around children who
You should
are
explain
already
what practicum hours are.
It's when you're in training for your board medical
Your certifications.
rounds and all that stuff, and you're learning
Glorified
on the job.
internship. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
basically,
kind of
yeah.
hands-on internship.
Kevin's still doing his practicum radio stuff.
But
I
the
am.
problem is
I'm new to
that I overheard conversations by our governor at the time, calling the board members and presidents of both the University of Washington School of Medicine and also Seattle Children's and Fred Hutch in the building where I worked. And Inslee was on speakerphone, so it was quite audible.
I don't want you to give anything away, but
No.
did you feel that there was an attempt to, what's the word, manipulate the general populace?
Oh, it wasn't an attempt. It was full on.
Manipulation?
Full court press, yeah.
What do you think their motivation was for that?
There was a
I already
lot of
know the
motivation.
answer, but I'm gonna ask you 'cause this
the
is good shit.
motivation was money.
Yeah.
The motivation was for Inslee pride, ego stroke, whatever you want to call it.
Were they working with the Gates Foundation?
Not at that time.
They did end up working with the Gates Foundation, didn't they?
I believe so.
There was some family ties.
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
Paul. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Jay Inslee's daughter-in-law works for the Gates Foundation.
Here's
just to finish it up.
Yeah.
What they were doing was a pay-to-play type deal. They did not want the University of Washington medical staff to come off as patient zero. So that's why they identified somebody else on a plane that landed at Payne Field, and
Yes,
the guy
that was
went
the up
to
north thing I was
hospital in
thinking of.
Everett and all that.
Yep.
That was actually 3 days after the 2 students from Wuhan.
So your point is that the first actual cases came before they announced the case up at Payne Field and Everett.
Correct.
I gotcha.
The reason why they did that is if you go back to the initial telecasts regarding this, all the media coverage and everything right around, I'm trying to remember exactly when it was.
Would have been like late March.
No.
Well, they shut us down in the middle of March.
Right. Yeah.
March 6th is when Washington State got
March
shut
6th,
down.
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
this would have been end of February when they were tracking it.
Yes, those first couple of
And-
cases.
Yeah,
that came in,
and so what was going on is University of Washington, Jay Inslee wanted University of Washington to become like the stats and the metrics and everything for the nation. And Johns Hopkins was also doing the same thing. Well, some of those tabulators worked across the hallway from me. So, and something was wrong, and it was produced and put on TV with Jay Inslee on, I think it was King 5.
That's how
National.
Yeah.
And Jay Inslee got tripped up. And so then after that, all of the national news outlets went with Johns Hopkins.
Yeah.
So University of Washington, Jay Inslee, they lost their moment.
That was for those.
And that was discussed.
For those
on
who
that
don't
call.
know, right? Because I don't know that I've actually said this on air, but that's how we met Lori. That's how we became friends, because she reached out to us, heard a show, and she kind of started, hey, listen, I've got some inside information. She was honestly, a secret source of information when she was working over there, and was feeding us the info as she was hearing it. But it was good stuff. And I don't know about anybody else, but I will tell you the one moment, because I remember it so vividly, like it was yesterday, because at first we were like, okay, don't really know what's going on here. We were concerned. Then we got worried. Then we were like, oh shit, this is serious. But the moment I knew it was all bullshit, or at least I felt that it was all bullshit, was when they were hyping up the fact that the medical ship, the Mercy, was going to come to Puget Sound.
Yep.
And then for whatever reason, they decided to turn it around.
Yep.
Like, wait a second. You went from thinking a U.S. military hospital ship needs to come here to, you know what? We're just going to go ahead and send it over here instead. Like, what the fuck is going on? That was like, for me, that was the big like aha moment, So
Same thing with Lumen Field.
when they were going to set it up as a mass
they
casualty.
set it up.
Right.
They set it up.
did
and they were-
and didn't use it.
Yep.
Well, they didn't use it. In
It never
practical
opened
terms,
it never opened to the public.
but they used it for training. They used it
Oh.
for videos. They produced a whole series. Because I was told early on that no matter what, even though I'm not medical staff, I had to still come into work. Everybody else, everything was shut down. If you want to know how fast I can make it from Kent to the University of Washington campus, it was 15 minutes. There was no traffic. It was amazing. But-
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
During the lockdowns.
Yeah.
I had a job up in Woodinville, so I'd drive up and stay 4 or 5 days. I could drive from Kitsap to Woodinville in like 46 minutes or something. It was magnificent.
Oh yeah, and there were no cops. There was nothing.
No.
But the thing was, I was told I had to come in. I'm not medical staff. Other people in my office, we had to come in. All of us office workers, nothing to do with medical. We're not saving lives and we're not doing anything. But we saw all the behind the scene things.
Yeah.
We heard the conversations. We heard, if we can claim these patients at Seattle Children's, even though they're fighting cancer, they're fighting COVID, it's $39,000 a pop.
Yep.
If we put them on a ventilator, we get more money.
Yep.
And once you go on a ventilator, you weren't getting back off it.
No, you weren't.
Well, I think, at least locally, the biggest sign. So for me, it was the Mercy ship. But then the next thing that occurred that really solidified it all was the picture posted of all the nursing staff and the law enforcement in front of Harrison Hospital, none of whom were wearing masks.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all posed for that picture. Yeah.
And then people couldn't, like, they attacked the hell out of us. Like, how dare you attack these heroes? I'm not attacking them for the job they do.
We're just asking a question.
I'm attacking them in a sense because you can't. The rest of us got to wear masks. We got to be 6 feet apart. Schools are closed, and you're all out there taking we just saved the world photograph selfie.
PR photo.
Yeah. It caused a massive fight in my family because my cousin was an oncology nurse at Seattle Children's, right? And immediately got attacked by multiple members of my family. How dare you say that? Blah, 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 blah. And they were pissed, right? That cousin is no longer in the medical field and refused her vaccine when she watched one of her best friends get the vaccine shot and die.
Oh, wow.
And she was like, I ain't getting the shot.
No, yeah.
And they were like, if you don't, you're fired. And she's like, goodbye.
Yeah.
I mean, it is amazing how our lived experiences change us, right?
yeah.
I mean, we become products of our environment. And I think COVID was a really good example of that. And I've never lost sight of the fact, as many people have stated, even Amber has stated it. I don't mean ever like she doesn't state things. I mean, just like even Amber stated the fact that she's not a political person, right? She was like, the whole thing was bunk.
Yeah.
And look, I can appreciate that point of view on the COVID issue, right? People who look at me straight in the face and say it was just a really nasty little flu, right?
Right.
Okay, I get that. But Fauci was partly responsible for that, putting out all the misinformation, the disinformation. He attempted to elicit a response based on fear from people. For those that hadn't seen the video of Mayor Muriel Bowser and Dr. Anthony Fauci walking through downtown Washington, D.C., talking to residents, not wearing masks.
Correct.
Talking to people like, well, have you got the vaccine? Well, why not? And then this African-American gentleman looked at them both straight in the face. He was like, y'all are BSing people. This is all about fear for you. And I'm like watching this dude and I'm like going, hell yeah, bud. Way to go. Congratulations, you know? And then still, here we are years later. And I post about how nobody I know is not concerned with the fact they didn't get the vaccine. And I got people going on my page trying to flip me shit and throw shade over it. Like, don't you know more by now? We're years past that, and you still don't get it. There is no help, David.
Well, but here's the deal, right? Like, I think I'm the only person on the show who got vaccinated.
Yeah, but you had. I understood why.
Yeah, and I did it because I'm overall healthy anyway, but I was worried about my parents at the time, so I got the vaccine and a couple boosters. To this day, I don't necessarily regret it. I have zero effects from it, nothing bad.
You have no effects that you're aware of at this point.
But I'm tested every year for a litany of stuff because of when I had the weight loss surgery and all that.
What you're not tested for is the problem that insurance companies have pointed out, which is the unnaturally high death toll in otherwise healthy adults between the ages of 30 and 55.
Yep.
I thought you had a shoulder issue.
He did.
Yeah. After
He did. A piece of metal stuck to his shoulder.
No, that didn't happen. No,
it was like a magnet under your skin. It was just.
I was sore. I was sore after the vaccine.
And I'm not picking on you.
No, and that's
I
fine.
remember something.
It's okay,
about
Lori.
that.
I'll do it for both.
So my thing with the vaccine, a little bit different from your guys' things, and very different. You know, Lila is in the.
You have a reason. I don't think, and it's the thing. Nobody faults you for
getting
it.
But I just want to say this, and like Lila is doing the exact same thing you guys are doing in the opposite direction, right?
Okay.
And this whole argument of the vaccine to me is irrelevant.
Right.
What's important to me is the fact we strip people of their ability to make a decision of what was best for them.
Correct.
And so Lila was like, well, good. Talk about your niece, I think it was.
Yeah.
You know, well, then she shouldn't be. Lila said she shouldn't be in the medical industry. She doesn't understand vaccines. And that's not the point. The point is, in this country, you have a right to freedom of what happens to your own body. I mean, that is the left's position on abortion. My body, my choice.
Correct.
Fine. You're not going to hurt anybody but yourself if you don't wear a seatbelt or a helmet or get the vaccine.
Right.
Now, the argument was back in the day, well, if you don't get the vaccine, you're going to spread it. Well, guess what we found out? The vaccine didn't stop people from spreading it. It only minimized it.
In order to prevent you from catching it.
And it didn't prevent you from catching it. Their data showed that it minimized the impact of how bad you got it and how long you kept it.
Well, and what we always...
And so my problem is not... whether or not Fauci lied, although that has to be discussed and dealt with, and there's ends of that. It's not about whether or not anybody should have been fired, because I don't think they should have. The larger issue for me was my body. I will decide if I get vaccinated or not. And it's not Lori's business, Amber's business, Paul's business, Lila's business, Tom's business, nobody else's business. HIPAA.
Be damned.
Fucks.
Yep.
It's never anybody else's business what I choose to do. And that's where my issues are. This was a strict violation of everything about this country that we're supposed to hold on to.
And it's deeper than that in this sense, right? How many people, like you pointed out, lost their jobs? How many people lost their businesses?
Oh, yeah.
How many people got put in positions where their life was financially ruined because they didn't have a choice? They weren't given a choice. How many people got the vaccine and ended up with vaccine injuries? A lot. Why? Because they were told, and it was based on fear, that every person needs to get it or you are responsible for the continuation and the spread of this virus, right?
Which was all
because
a lie.
Even Biden went on television and announced that it was the unvaccinated's fault that the virus was still out there, right? And
so did Jay Inslee.
That's right. And how many times did Fauci say the vaccine is safe?
Yeah.
How many people ended up hurt? Anybody know the key person, one of the key people that lied about this? Did you get a chance? Anybody here get a chance to see Fauci's diary?
No,
I
didn't know it was out.
So you ready for this then? Then you probably aren't aware of this. So I will tell you. Fauci kept it a secret that motherfucker had a vaccine injury himself. He ended up with a blood clot that almost killed him.
Fauci? That's right.
Fauci.
I did read that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
So that's
Pulmonary
the
embolism.
degree with which he was willing to hide shit.
Yep.
Right? Like, if it ain't criminal, I don't know what is, man.
Well, and Lila said the vaccine is safe.
It's safe for some.
Yeah.
For some people.
And Lila also said no one made people get the vax. But I'm gonna go back to that, Lila, because that isn't true. And here's why I say that.
How many people couldn't get life-saving surgeries because they were considered elective?
Yep. How many people lost their jobs? I mean, how many people got fired? We're still under state ferry workers in the state because of the numbers that got mass laid off.
People were forced into
Washington
retirement.
State Patrol,
Washington State Patrol.
or City of Seattle.
There were federal employees in the places that I worked where we were being told, if you don't get vaccinated, you're going to get fired. And people quit before they got fired because they didn't want the firing on. Now, the federal government backed off of that before they actually terminated anybody.
Well, they had to because there was a Navy SEAL group that sued the federal government and won.
Right. But my point was how many people quit their jobs because they didn't want the firing on their records.
Yes.
So to say that listen, coercion's coercion, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to give a really bad example. Lila's going to lose their goddamn
At
mind.
this place, let's throw collusion on top of that because there was obviously a lot of that going on too.
But if you tell somebody, if a boss tells his employee at work, hey, if you don't sleep with me, I'm going to fire you, and she sleeps with him, that's still coercion and that's still rape, even if she agreed to do it to keep her job. And if you tell people, if you don't get this vaccine, we're going to fire you, it's still coercion. It's still, you know what I mean? It's still, so nobody made you. Yeah, they did make them.
Well,
you can't tell a family, especially in the middle of a major financial fuck up where businesses are shutting down. There's some of these people that have jobs that are deemed essential, ferry, state patrol, federal workers. And now you're telling them, not only are you going to lose your job, but you won't be able to go get another one because nobody's fucking hiring because everything is shut down. That's coercion. That's blackmail.
And listen, we know we had people working on the show with us that took their house and everything and put their life savings, refinanced their house, and had put it into starting a new business. Right. And so Ben Compton, who was on the show with us, and his wife, Glennie, they put everything they had into this business because their job for years and years and years they'd been working for the unemployment office.
Yep.
And part of their jobs at the unemployment office was to go around and teach high school kids, get them ready for college or get them ready for the real world. Right. And so their business was centered around that. They had a bunch of contracts with local school districts in the Puget Sound where they would go into the classrooms and work with these kids. Right. And by the way, we haven't even touched on the mental and psychological effect of kids in anywhere from 2nd to 10th grade.
Or even what the corporate world was doing in the background.
Are you now, when you say that, you have a lot more knowledge about that than anybody else here, right? Because you're a numbers cruncher, right? Is that an effective way to put it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you saw that from a wholly different side, right? Can you touch on that for just a second? Because I think it's very important.
So what I saw was a major software company related to pretty much, I would say, 2/3 of the United States payroll.
Is that, it's not a company that rhymes with Microsoft, right?
No.
Okay. Just checking.
Microsoft.
Anyways, this company created a whole new module and it was catering, and I was testing it as part of a contract I was working. The vaccine card, uploading it, and then, confirming that the dates matched, looking at medical records, from whatever doctor was cited, and confirming all of that. And then at the end of it, if there was no document to upload, putting in their term date.
I got
you. And this was a software company that a lot of businesses, small to large, use. And this company was rolling that out so it make it easier so companies could just get rid of, people who weren't compliant.
Oh, well, and I'm going to throw another one onto this, right? I had, being a contractor on Angie's List and all that stuff, I can't tell you how many customers I got over a 1 year period of time, and they all had the same thing in common. They were landlords. And their tenants didn't pay rent for over a year.
Yeah.
And they weren't allowed to demand it or ask for it or anything else. And as a small business person, right? Like, I had a farm. I was lucky that I had a farm, right? I had 3 hogs, 7 cattle. I ended up having them all butchered, right? Half that meat I gave away, but we didn't know when the next time we were going to be able to go to the grocery store.
Bacon. Yes, you did.
I didn't know when we were going to be able to go to the grocery store again. I had to buy 2 extra freezers just to have enough to store. But the point was, as a small business owner, I don't know about you, Tom, but I put in for a PPP loan it wasn't big enough, so therefore it wasn't considered.
Mm-hmm.
I had no help. I got nothing.
Yeah.
Right. It got to the point where I'm like, I don't have money for gas. Thank God I live in a community where my family was here, and they're like, hey, you need to go somewhere. Here's $15-$20 for gas.
Mhm.
And it was bad.
Yeah.
There was so much, so many dominoes that fell. It got to the point, and all of this through fear. We're talking about people who, what was it, 4 years earlier, who ran their little mock deal where they gamed out a pandemic from a coronavirus. Gee, that didn't sound familiar.
Lila, that's probably a disingenuous comment. So Lila said, Paul is advocating people be thrown out of their houses in the middle of a pandemic, which I don't believe is what he said.
No, that's not what I said.
But there had to be some relief for the people that own that were the landlords. And like Lila is going to rant about big property owners and mega management and billionaires, but there are people who
own one or two homes.
It's like they're
retired.
Yeah, they're retired. It's how they're supplementing their income.
Yeah. Listen,
right?
you can let me give specifics.
And a lot of them got effed.
Let me give specifics on that. Right, you have a home that has you're retired. You live in a home that you own, and you have one or two other investment properties. And most of those people, like 90% of those people that own an investment property, they're only making $200 to $300 a month off rent.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky.
Yeah.
And think about it like this. Every time something goes wrong in that house, the landlord has to fix it. Every time you have to fix a deck and it costs you $2,000, there went your whole profit for the year.
Yeah.
Right. You're not. So people that you're not doing it. You're not being a landlord in investment properties because of the money you're making every month. You're doing it for the equity that you're gaining over time.
Yep.
And so when you suddenly go 6 months or a year and that tenant doesn't have to pay rent, now you on your fixed income are having to cover that rent or lose your home. It was a good thing that eventually the mortgage companies, they came up with some programs and were able to fix that for some people, but they weren't able to fix it for everyone. And unfortunately what happened is, and when I say over the course of a year, I must have had 20 clients who called me and said, I just need to get my manufactured home or my house ready to sell because I haven't been able to collect anything on it. They're going to foreclose on me. And the only way that I can sell my home, because they were prevented from even selling. So the only way that they were able to do it to kick the renters out was to say, I'm selling the house. So that's what they did. And that didn't make the situation better for renters. It made it worse.
No.
Yep.
So
and it messed them up even worse when that moratorium got lifted.
Yes.
Because then the landlords came back and said, okay, now you owe me this much in back rent. Well, the hole was dug so bad, nobody's going to be able to make that up. So then they just left and had to abscond on the fact that they owed the money. And the landlords are out everything, and they still have to re-rent it.
And they had to repair the place because I promise you, somebody living in a house and renting, almost no tenant gives a shit about the house that they're renting. Almost none.
Here's what pissed me off.
Same thing happened with businesses.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, there are plenty of businesses that didn't make it. Hell, we were in a really shitty spot. So Black Ring opened in late 2018. We really only got 1 year of business. And
can I say, God bless you for being able to find something to do with your distillery. I'll let you talk about that.
Oh, well, yeah, that wasn't much, really.
I know,
but I mean, anyone who knows business knows that you don't make it in the first year.
First 5 years, basically.
Right,
yeah.
Right. So, I mean, we got a year under our belt of trying to build business, and then the rug yanked out from under us.
Yep.
And of course, coming out the backside, the entire landscape of what I do changed. I mean, while we were in the early days, I learned the WHO formula for sanitizer. So we gave away, oh my God, I gave away hundreds of gallons of sanitizer the first probably 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was a good thing, and it was a community service.
Yeah.
But it's not like you were making money to pay yourself on that.
No, we I think it was about 6 months where we ended up giving it away, and then the supply chain evened out, and I was able to get bottles and stuff.
Yeah.
What I didn't have packaging, so we were telling people, "Hey, bring me your empty, sanitizer, bottle. I'll fill it back up."
Yeah. Well, and again, and I don't want to beat a dead horse here.
We're at top of the hour too. So,
but even with you were trying to get your parents who were both in wheelchairs, moved into the house you guys had just moved into, but you had to wait until the concrete work, the new driveway and everything got put because they were in wheelchairs. Your concrete, I was pouring your concrete. It was half done and I couldn't get concrete.
Yeah.
So you had to sit and wait, and your parents had to sit and wait in a nursing home. And during COVID, is there any more fearful of a location for you to have your parents than in a nursing home?
Oh yeah, it was horrible. Yeah. And that's what I was going to say. That's the part that killed me the most about COVID was the number of people that had to watch their loved ones die via video camera or through a window. Like, again, for me, it's not about all the medical stuff. Like, I know that's all important and you guys got to talk about that. That's fine. For me, it's the interpersonal stuff, the human right end of this. The fact that people were told you can't go see a loved one that are on their deathbed. You can't get together with family at the holidays. You can't go to your church and worship with other people. They tried to shut down a whole bunch of churches.
Yeah.
Like at some point, you just have to say, you're an adult, make a decision. You live with your decision. If you want to go out and hang out with people. And by the way, I went out and hung out with plenty of people.
Mm-hmm.
I know that one. That dude, we had some fucking fun.
I know one person that died from COVID personally.
Yes.
I know
The
one
same
guy.
person we both know.
Yeah.
Which was a little bit strange in its own set of circumstances.
Are you talking about
Josh?
Yeah, Josh. Okay. So outside of Josh,
who we heard on a Friday night was coming home.
Yeah.
The next morning. And then was doing better and had recovered. And then the next morning, the hospital called Debbie and said he passed.
Yeah.
But outside of Josh, I hung out with a lot of people, and I don't know anybody else that passed from COVID.
Right.
I knew too.
Now that's not to minimize it. It's just to say that I was in a group of people where we were still hanging out. We were going to church together. I was still going to the grocery store. I was not staying home. I was wearing a mask. Again, I had elderly parents that were high risk, and I was going to do whatever I needed to do to ensure that they survived. But I think a lot of this was overblown and really an oppression of our constitutional rights in this country.
To your point, and this is the last comment I'm going to make about this.
And this is a slippery slope. We started off with wear a seatbelt and wear a helmet or you're going to get a ticket. And that slippery slope goes my body, my choice, my head, my whatever to, you're going to get a vaccine you don't want or we're going to punish you.
And the last point I'm going to make, because it just jarred that little bit of memory. Where Lila was talking about the landlords and I was talking about the people didn't have to pay their rent. Here's the biggest problem I had with that. People were getting unemployment plus an extra $650 a week. I had 5 employees when COVID hit. All 5 of them quit in June when I said, no, they didn't quit. I fired them because in June when they said, you can go back to work, right? All 5 of them called them up. Hey, we get to go back to work, blah, 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 blah. Every single one of these kids asked me, well, what about the extra $650 a week? You don't get it. That's not how it works. Well, then I don't want to go back to work. Fine, you're fired.
Why would they?
It's almost like a life lesson in how socialism doesn't work, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, there is that.
Really quickly, I'm gonna read because Lila said in the chat that he had ways that this could have been addressed differently. And Lila said,
okay,
and so
just read it.
I said, Lila, so tell us what it is. That what's your solution to it? Lila said the government could have stepped up and made people whole and said people stay home like we should have done, but effing pay people to stay home like other countries did. That makes everyone whole. We talked about that on this show. Like, why not just shut everything down for a month? Tell everybody stay home for a month, and we're going to do a carte blanche like wipe of everything.
Well, and I thought that would have not been a bad idea. Hey, you don't have to pay your power bill, your cable bill, your phone
rent,
bill,
nothing.
Rent, everything. 1 month, everybody stay home, right? Because when you looked at how fast the virus was spreading and stuff, that seemed to make a whole lot more sense. Okay, we're all going to bite it in the ass for a month.
Yeah.
Right? We're all going to do this together, right? And then we should be good to go.
Yeah, agreed.
But that's not what happened.
No. And I think on that point,
hold on, Lori, what?
Except University of Medicine professors who also had hours at Seattle Children's got paid their normal salary. They stayed home. Surgeries were canceled. They weren't seeing patients unless it was end of life type deal. But mostly the nurses were handling everything. They were staying home.
Yeah.
I'm still working because I'm making sure they're getting paid.
They were more valuable.
Well, but that's the problem, right?
They were calling and saying, hey, by the way, I just bought another rental house. And I mean, it would be the same doctor and it was the 4th one.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, the mortgage verification is going to come through. Can you make sure you get that done before you leave today?
Right, because the end of things that you were on, you saw that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other part of it is, this will be the other worms that I'm
Go ahead.
being
Out with
of
it.
worms.
Let's
Here it
go,
goes.
girl.
So unemployment, remember all the fraud.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We made some Nigerians real rich
We
that
sure
time.
did. Mm-hmm.
But were they Nigerian? Anyways,
Yeah. They were princes.
they knew exactly what demographic to hit.
What do you mean?
So what I mean is that the first wave by the fraud,
The fraudsters,
and
okay.
unemployment went against all the doctors in the professional community.
Oh, okay. I see
So
what you're saying.
all the doctors that are staying from home or staying home are getting unemployment fraud against them, against their unemployment accounts.
Okay.
All of them.
I gotcha.
So in 1 week, we had 700 doctors that were fraudulently receiving unemployment. They weren't receiving it, but the fraudsters
Right.
were.
And we can't alleviate the blame from the Washington State Unemployment Director who
Yep.
took those safeguards off.
Yep.
Yeah.
And gosh, it's amazing. Hop, skip, and a jump over to the Biden.
I know that
White
lady
House.
went up and she started running the whole department for the Biden administration.
and, and was a terrific fundraiser.
Yeah.
All right.
makes
We're
you
gonna
wonder.
take a break.
Oh, we go down holes with that one.
Yep,
All
we
We'll
could.
take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get into some other topics as well. I'm going to go through the chat. I know there's a whole bunch of comments we missed, so we'll look at that as well.
We're going to get to talk about the invasion in Spain.
Yeah. I would challenge you to go back to the, what was the 14? No, it was earlier than that, wasn't it? The 1100s?
You talking about the Moors?
Yeah.
And Spain and Morocco?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We'll talk about all that and more. Stick around. Don't, Tara, if you're listening to the show, we haven't forgotten about you. Don't fret your little heart. Remember, if you or anybody else, Lila, this applies to you too. If you guys want to leave a voicemail to play on the show, call us at 360-347-6792. 360-347-6792. Outlaw voicemails up, leave a message. We'll check them out and we'll play them on next week's show.
Let me throw this out there too. Lilac, we may disagree frequently, if not all the time. Still appreciate the conversation. So thank you.
Oh, look at that. We can get along with people on the opposite end of the political spectrum. Terry, you should try that. Stick around. More of the show after this. Outlaw Radio Network at outlawradionetwork.com.
On a recent episode of the Outlaw Radio Network,
Some of our listeners even appreciated you dumbing it down for them. So, on behalf
Sometimes
of Paul,
I have to
thank you.
mansplain for people like. By the way, mansplaining is when men explain things to a woman in a condescending tone. I just mansplaining.
That's the Outlaw Radio Network Sunday night at their new time from 6 to 10.
and show it.
We've got on a recent episode of the Outlaw Radio Network.
Some of our listeners even appreciated you dumbing it down for them. So, on behalf
Sometimes
of Paul,
I have to
thank you.
mansplain for people like. By the way, mansplaining is when men explain things to a woman in a condescending tone. I just mansplained.
That's the Outlaw Radio Network Sunday night at their new time from 6 to 10.
You guys do too. The fact that she really is only focusing on the very.
Prescribe me a pill or a shot of relief, an antidote or help from above. I'm dying for her. Is there no cure for love? So give me the news. No need to pretend. Diagnosis, addiction, prognosis, no This love's a condition I'll never defeat. A one-way ticket down a one-way street. Doctor, help me, please.
All right, it's Outlaw Radio. We are back, third hour of the show. Thanks for checking us out. We are turning the microphones on, which can only go bad. Tom, Paul, me, CEO. Beulah went home early. I believe she was hoping to get her car lubed. So she'll be back next week. Thanks for checking out the show. We appreciate it. We want to remind you about our sponsors, including our Primo sponsor, which is our good friends at Destination Highway 420. Paul, tell us about them.
I'll do it. When you want quality cannabis and friendly, knowledgeable team, head to Destination Highway 420. Conveniently located at 1225 Hollis Street, Bremerton. They offer premium flower, concentrates, edibles, pre-rolls, and accessories for every preference. Whether you're a seasoned shopper or trying something new, their staff is ready to help you find the perfect fit. Visit Destination Highway 420 at 1225 Hollis Street, Bremerton, proud sponsor of the Outlaw Radio Network.
Awesome. Nicely done, Paul.
Fucking one take wonder. As in, I wonder how I did it. It's all good. It's all good. You're not the only one take person here. It took you like 8 takes earlier tonight before the show started, though.
Just on one of them. It was just but that's fine.
Poor Tom couldn't complete a sentence while he was reading his. Nothing personal, Tom. Nothing personal.
There were a couple. There were a couple of one takes too. So
there were like 2, and then I compliment you, and you fucked up every single one after that. Beeler was like, "You jinxed him." Yeah, I definitely.
Well, you know, shit happens.
It does. Says Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
That's right. So I think I'm going to pull it up here, the story, because I find it very interesting. For those that don't know what happened in Spain, fascinating kind of concept and story. And 2 weeks ago,
Hold on. Before you do that, can I do something I wanted to do really quick? I haven't told you about this. What's her name? Shut up, Paul. Good God. No, I have something I want to bust out. Can we do that real quick? Hold on.
I don't know. You need to be more specific.
Hold on, I'm trying to find it. Give me just a second.
When you talk about busting stuff out, we all know your reputation.
Hold on. Shut up.
And thank you, by the way,
canoe, man.
for changing that reputation. Thank you for becoming an honest man. Thank you for finally settling down. It means I can avoid messages on your ghosting at 1 o'clock in the morning after returning home from the show.
I swear to God.
Okay, you ready to bust a nut or bust out or whatever it is you're going to do?
Why are you the way you are? Is what I like to know.
I can't help it.
What about
okay,
you?
I'll tell you. No, there's an honest answer. You want to know what it is?
Please tell me.
Polish. Everybody in the history of European culture kicks our ass, okay?
Yeah, it does. And on this show, in the Derby, like everything.
I heard a Polish guy say the other day, he said, if the German, he said, I was asked a question the other day, if the Germans attacked from one side and the Russians attacked from the other, what are the Polish people going to do? Who are you going to shoot at first? And he goes, easy, the Germans. Business before pleasure.
All right. Can I share this with you? Hold on. Here.
Well, you're going to, whether we want you to.
Damn.
Or not, so go ahead, Kevin. Oh no.
Real heroes of Paulsbo. Today we salute you, Mr. Paulsbo for all Facebook commenter guy. You don't just get upset. You achieve elite level outrage over things that nobody else even cared about. a crooked yard sign, a joke, someone having an opinion, boom, full mental meltdown. While others scroll past, you bravely leap into action, typing essays longer than the Constitution to defend the honor of whatever you decided was offensive today. And when Outlaw Radio Network says something spicy, you're right there. Our number one fan, listening closer than anyone, ready to clutch pearls and fire up a 47-comment thread. So crack open a cold one, keyboard warrior, because Outlaw Radio Network proudly salutes you, Paulsbo for all, the undefeated heavyweight champion of sensitivity, drama, and absolutely nothing, and absolutely losing it over nothing. There we go. That's our Paulsbo for all. Paulsbo heroes for all. I almost had it. We're gonna cut those into spot. I got like 20 of them over here. You want to hear another one? Want to hear another one? Hold on. Let me give you another one. Hold on.
Do you have another one?
I have another one. Yeah. Hold on.
Oh, he's not kidding. He's got a stack of them.
I got like 20 of them.
I know he handed me a big stack of them too, man. I was like,
I got it. Hold on. Let me find them.
I'll read the one for our sponsors, and well, you know what? In all due sincerity,
one more, and then you can, and then you we'll go to yours. Hold it. Ready? Here we go. Outlaw Radio Networks presents Real Heroes of Paulsbo. Tonight, we honor you, Mr. Shadow Boxing with Reality Guy, the Paulsbo for all champion who fights battles nobody else sees. You wage war against jokes, sarcasm, and harmless comments like they're dark forces rising from the abyss. And when Outlaw Radio Network speaks, you're there. Our number one fan, swinging wildly at shadows, convinced you're saving your beloved town. Outlaw Radio Network salutes you, Paulsbo for all, the undefeated champions of dramatic, self-created conflict. Anyway, there you go. There you go. So,
hey, you can turn that back on. I've got one.
Oh, you got one? Oh, hold on. Let me restart it then. Hold on. Let me
just start it over again.
Ready? Here we go. Oh,
Hello.
Hold on. Here we go. Ready? Here you go.
Outlaw Radio Network proudly salutes our number one fans, Paulsbo for all. Nobody gets offended faster, louder, or with more dramatic flair. They're basically Olympic athletes in emotional gymnastics. One comment, one joke, one slightly spicy opinion, and boom, gold medal performance. And we love it. Paulsbo for all, thanks for listening, reacting, overreacting, and giving us endless entertainment. Outlaw Radio Network couldn't ask for more dedicated fans. And as such, we'll see you next Tuesday.
It's going to be our... Can we please move the show to Tuesdays? Because then we could do every show with See You Next Tuesday, and it would fit into the.
It would, right?
It would.
Absolutely.
That's great. All right, Paul, go ahead into your
crap. Okay, I was all set. Now I got to pull it back up again. Hold on. Here we go. You know what? All I did was go into my search bar, hit the letter S, and you know what popped up?
See You Next Tuesday?
No. Spain invasion.
Well, that's
like, you can't make that up, man. I was like, the first letter, dude. And I keep hitting paywalls on these stories. So, that's really cool. Okay, let me see if I can no, I don't want the video. You know what happens when your phone doesn't work the way it's supposed to? It becomes very oh, here we go.
It requires percussive maintenance.
Real man of genius. So, we got hit with a rights manager for music. It was probably for that background that we just played. That's okay.
Kevin, one more time with the Outlaw phone number.
Oh,
there's a request for it in the chat.
If you would like to leave a message in the voicemail, please send this to Tara Simmons. We'd love to hear from her. 360. In fact, hold on. I'm going to put it in our thread. Hold on. I'm going to put the no, I'm going to change the phone number. I'm going to change the name for Black Ring Spirit Studio to the phone number so people can have it. So just Paul, go ahead with what you're doing. I'll fix it. That you guys look at the video.
Yeah. This story that I'm reading here to you is straight out of the Daily Signal. The title of the story is "Don't Be Fooled. What's Going On is an Invasion of Spain." And for those that haven't heard, approximately 60,000 Moroccans crossed the border illegally there into the beach. They kind of went out and around. I mean, we're talking massive crowd. We're talking half a Seahawks stadium worth of people, So here's how this story reads. The consequences of an ongoing invasion from military-age men into Spain played out in real time on Thursday, as Tony Kinnett covered on the Tony Kinnett cast. Not really important, don't know who he is. But anyway, men were streaming past gates and into the Spanish territories of Ceuta and Melilla, which border Morocco. By Friday, blood was in the streets. While invaders were breaking off parts of grave sites to attack citizens and police, cars were set on fire. Thousands of military-aged men, not packs of desperate women and children, not the elderly, but middle-aged, military-aged men are streaming over the border into the country and invading people's homes in Spanish territory. Don't misunderstand this. This isn't just people getting off a boat, folks. This is military-aged men breaking into these two border towns in Spain and literally breaking into people's homes and taking over their houses. There was even footage of one man confirming he was under investigation for murder in Morocco, which contradicts claims that are being made in the left-leaning media in Europe, that such individuals are seeking, quote, economic opportunity and a better life. It's not over, Kinnett shared on the start of Friday's broadcast, in light of claims many had returned to Morocco. Now, if there is an invasion that is over, wait, what does it say? Now, if there is an invasion that is over, usually you do not see people continuing to do the invading. Just one administration ago, you saw under Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas the same kinds of mass migration into the United States.
Good job on his name.
President Donald Trump has called out the risks of unfettered immigration, while Democrats have been insane, is the quote. When the Sanchez family addressed the situation on Thursday, he claimed that the government of Spain is fully committed to providing an immediate response to the situation, and we're mobilizing all necessary resources, working with Moroccan and international authorities and preparing the necessary measures to restore normalcy as soon as possible. They noted that Sanchez, that's the leader of Spain, had previously defended open borders as compassion and empathy. The prime minister was heckled immediately in Spain, and on Friday, Sanchez for the first time acknowledged that what has happened is an attack on Spain's territorial integrity and deserves our most resounding and energetic condemnation. And, quote, an interesting line that Sanchez said, quote, the government of Spain stands with the autonomous city, with Ceuta being Spanish territory, given federal law still applies there. But he says autonomous as though this is somehow some extra nicety that he's laying around. Maybe the socialists have a point that really these territories should be ceded to Morocco. So these are these two cities that were invaded are like Washington, D.C. here in the U.S. They're not technically states. They're like on the border of the country. They're considered autonomous zones, maybe like Puerto Rico or Guam is to the United States.
Those are territories.
Correct, but not. I'm trying to liken them and draw a comparison.
No, okay.
Because they're not technically, they're Spanish territory. They're recognized as Spanish territory, but these regions are quote unquote autonomous. So what that means to the Spanish people, I can't tell you. The situation in Spain has become so bad that the European neighbors could ignore it no longer and have tightened their borders. As a result, it should be very clear here that other nations in Europe have responded by reinforcing their borders. Despite how there is free travel between the European Union countries, this includes the leaders of Italy, Austria, and even France because of this migrant crisis. I think any nation that watches 40, 50, 60,000 people bum rush their border has every right to take action, right? And as far as I'm concerned, it could be violent action. Like Morocco's not some hellscape, right? It's not a third world country. I in my own investigation, I think kind of what was going on was, see, Morocco is very welcoming to North African migrants. And I think a lot of those folks then got to Morocco and said, well, these are autonomous zones. They're not technically Spain. So they flooded them. They basically bum rushed them, took people's houses from them, kicked people out, burned cars, assaulted people. It's a shitty situation. Now, at least we can look at the southern border of the U.S. and say that under Biden, we had a similar situation with tens of thousands of immigrants coming across the border. But what they didn't do? Burn cars and invade people's homes.
Right.
I mean, you want to take over somebody's home in Texas? I don't think that's going to work out too good for you. Just saying. So, do you, as the Democrat in the group here, Kevin, do you believe that democratic policies about the borders, especially when you look at what's going on in Spain, are they appropriate or not appropriate? So what we saw from the Biden administration.
Well, okay. So first off, I can't separate the Biden administration from previous administrations because the Biden administration was more grotesque about it. But every administration has had kind of a weak standing on the southern border in general.
See,
Even Trump.
I don't think so. Clinton didn't.
Neither did
Obama. Obama sent more people packing than any other president in U.S. history.
Yeah, but this nation has never really enforced our immigration policy since Reagan did the mass mass forgiveness program.
I think him doing that is what opened the door over the last 40 years, right? Because he said, well, if you're here, okay, there's nothing we can do about it. I think Trump's proving that's not the case. There are things that can be done about it. The reason I'm asking you is because I just want to get a general feel, and Tom, you too, because as a libertarian, you may have different philosophies and thoughts on this than I do. But I am a firm believer that ICE should have its handcuffs, should be unleashed completely, and the border should be completely closed. I'm talking, you want to come over the border, you want to climb over that fence, you want to go under, you want to dig a tunnel and go underneath, you're going to get shot when you come up on this side. I am all for that. I literally, people say, well, that's, that makes you kind of an asshole. No, I have a front door on my house for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
That is my belief on it. But I think I'm the only person here that's worked for any immigration service. Is that, I mean, granted, I didn't do it long. I only did it 6 months, but it was enough for me to see the shit show that is immigration. And for the record, it is not Republican policies that make immigration a problem.
Right.
These are distinctly left policies. Now, you can put the blame on Republican administrations for not doing anything about it before. I have no problem with that. There's culpability there. But I think to talk about what kind of a bad person Trump is or what kind of a bad people ICE is, like 1,440 people have been murdered in the last 5 years by illegal immigrants in this country. You know how many illegal immigrants have been murdered by ICE or American citizens? We can add them together because we can count them on 2 hands. 9. That's American citizens and illegal immigrants. And by the way, 3 of those illegal immigrants were murdered by a sniper who was far left shooting at ICE agents at an ICE facility. I don't see even anything close to a comparison. That's my thoughts.
I don't disagree with you. And here's the problem with what we're talking about with the southern border, right? Is that everything that Trump has attempted to do, with the exception of California, has been embraced by those border states. Arizona wants it. New Mexico wants it. Texas wants it. Why? Because they're on the front line of what's coming across that
Isn't
border.
Nevada a border state too?
No.
Okay.
No. Nevada borders with Arizona.
In California.
In California.
Yeah,
But I meant to the south. And so when the states that are at the front line of this are the ones that want to see it, there's a reason why. Because they're the ones that deal the most with the human trafficking.
Right.
They're the ones that deal the most with the illegal drugs coming across. They're the ones that have to deal with the cartels.
Yep.
They're the ones that are dealing with the violence. Remember, there was that family guy that was on a boat in the Rio Grande several years ago. They got murdered by the cartel on the Rio Grande.
Yeah.
And so
look, we have an illegal immigrant and drug problem, human trafficking here in Washington, even in Kitsap County, right? And we're as far as you can get from the southern border.
But we're a sanctuary state.
Well, you're right.
Well, I think it's a lot easier. Oh, she said we're showing 2 different numbers.
I'll bring up an interesting point.
That's already been fixed.
Oh, did you fix it? Okay.
In New York, the New York State Legislature just voted to say that it is illegal. Now, tell me if anybody else finds the irony in this fucking idea. New York State has just made it so that it is illegal for any county employee to not adhere to their sanctuary policies. In other words, it is illegal for you, if you are a city or county or municipality in New York, to cooperate with ICE. Now, just to bring this full circle, do you know what it sounds like to me? Sanctuary cities, sanctuary states. It's a local municipality saying, fuck you, state, no different than a state saying, well, we're a sanctuary state, fuck you, federal government, right? I find it incredibly laughable. So when you hear somebody like Kathy Hochul go on television and give a ranting speech about how we are going to use a law to make sure every single person does what we say when it comes to immigration in New York, I'm just listening to her going, do you realize how you sound right now? Am I the only one that gets it?
But listen, here's the problem. I don't have an issue with them passing that, right? Because if you're going to have state laws or local jurisdictional laws, you need people that are going to follow that. So I don't have an issue with them passing
you need that in federal too.
Well, but again, how the question becomes: if you're working for the feds,
do you
then
think
you should
that the
expect
state
people
has the right to decide the entire state is going to be a sanctuary state, and that everybody's going to follow that law? If the federal, do you believe that their state has the right to do that, but the federal government doesn't have the right to dictate? No, it's not legal to make yourself a sanctuary state.
I think until the courts get involved and figure out where that line is. Yeah. Because I think what we need is the courts to get involved and explain where's the jurisdictional line on these issues with immigration.
I think that's
how much of it is federal, and I think most of it is federal, but how much of it is federal and how much is up to the state.
Well, the federal government's job is to do what?
Protect the borders.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And by the way, sorry, the other thing I was going to say earlier.
He does not like the libertarians.
The other thing I was going to say is, it's really easy if you're in New York to complain against about illegal immigration. When you're,
do you want to put the bone down? It looks a little weird seeing you hold that bone,
chicken
in your
bone,
hand, like
that. You can't see it in the camera. By
eating
the way,
meat
Paul,
is a white supremacy thing. I'm just saying.
Well, I'm sure it is. It's white meat too. No dark meat here on these wings. Listen, it's really easy to take a stand like New York has about illegal immigration when you're bordered against Canada,
and then bitch when the Biden administration or the Trump administration flies in illegal immigrants. Yeah.
So I just think I'm concerned about what the states that are bordering Mexico think, not Washington, where our biggest issue is how much bad cheese and bad beer comes across the border from Canada.
Not true.
And fentanyl.
Yeah.
But again,
fentanyl through BC.
Well, yeah, that's because BC is weak.
So
go ahead, Tom. Sorry.
So federal law supersedes state law, right?
As long as it's jurisdictional, yeah.
Right. And when we're talking about immigration, it's jurisdictional. So the state has control of their borders, except when they border another country, because that becomes a federal border.
Mm-hmm.
So it should be federal law.
Correct.
Right. I mean, there shouldn't be any. We need to figure it out. There's already a process in place for immigrating to the United States.
Right. But see, what the states are passing is not a law about the border itself. It's a law about what happens within the state once they're here. So they're not saying that the illegals can or cannot come across the border. They're saying once they get into this state, once they're here,
that's a federal problem. It's not a state problem.
That's where the state has to get involved because the states feel like it is their issue.
I mean, the court needs to get
or the court. That's where the courts have to get involved because the states feel like they do have a dog in that.
But it was a federal law that was broken. It was a federal border that was crossed. It's a federal problem.
I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying the states are going to have to rule. The Supreme Court needs to rule on this at some point.
Yeah.
Because until they do, this back and forth is going to continue. The states are going to say, well, once they're here, they're our responsibility. And they're not wrong. State Medicaid is being used on them. State programs is being used on them. The school districts are servicing their children. Their hospitals and all that is outside of federal funding. So the state does have a dog in the fight.
No.
You don't think so?
They shouldn't.
But they do.
Then they need to quit giving services to non-citizens.
But again, how do you deny medical services to somebody? If an illegal is in this country and is involved in a car accident, are you going to deny them medical services because they're here illegally and then they're going to go to the hospital? They're going to ask for charity care. And now the state's on the hook.
Right.
Or a New Mexico farmer finds, and this is a real story, finds a child who was crossing over with an adult, a woman who passed away. The child is seeking cover through the dead body. The farmer picks up the child, severely dehydrated, takes them to a local hospital. Again, state services are paying for everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, there's a million what ifs.
Oh yeah. And I agree. I agree.
But I mean, when you're just trying, I mean, you still have to carve it down to its lowest common denominator, right?
Sure.
I mean, there's going to be what ifs when you're just talking about the sheer volume of what we have. I mean, that's just the math of it. But there shouldn't really be an argument between whose problem it is. It's state or it's federal.
Does the federal government have a right to withhold funding for a state or local municipality that declares themselves a sanctuary state, thereby ignoring federal statutes?
I don't know. What are the terms of the contract?
Well, it's no is the answer, right? The federal government still, if they're owing Washington State X amount of dollars, they still have to pay it, even though Washington State's ignoring the federal mandate. But at New York, for example, okay, if a county government or say a county sheriff says, no, we're going to cooperate with ICE, right? Does the state have the right to withhold funding for that state organization? Again, the answer is no. So we have a situation here where we have people on both sides of the aisle who are picking and choosing what laws and what rules they're going to follow. Mm-hmm. And I actually, as much as it annoys me to look at what's going on in New York, I am a proponent of state sovereignty, which is why no matter how much I dislike certain things in this state, like the abortion laws, right? Mm-hmm. I'm very much anti-abortion and pro-life, but I recognize the fact that that's the law of the land. So if I'm having a one-on-one conversation, or we're talking about here, I'm going to say, no, I don't support abortion. I believe life begins at conception, blah, 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 blah. But I'm not going to stand in judgment over somebody who uses the law the way that it's intended to be used. Yeah. Right. I'm not going to pass judgment on them. That's between them and the soul of the child they've murdered when they die and go to hell or heaven. Maybe they, it was Mother Teresa and got knocked up or something.
Well, we've already determined that conversation can be simplified really easy by having a legal definition of when does life begin.
I do not disagree.
And then the fundraising on both sides of that argument can.
I think to your point, I think that argument can be absolved on a political level, right? Because I'm sure that it would be reasonable if people came back and said life begins at 16 weeks, right? But I'm still going to believe life begins at conception. So,
sure, no one's going to take that belief from you, but we have a legal definition now. Yeah. So anything before that can be terminated.
Yep.
And then anything after that. So in the event of a car accident,
yep,
and a pregnant woman is killed and her child dies, and it's after the fact, that's not one murder, that's two.
Yeah. Do you guys want another update on Tara?
Sure. Oh, what do you have now?
I'm going to read this. So Tara replied to somebody's post about us. Quote, the best way to be respectful would have been to ask me questions first and allow for due process to resolve. It might not be about us, might be about somebody else. They caused irreparable harm to my reputation. People still believe I was engaged in some nefarious or immoral conduct. I am still waiting for the repair, and that is why we are still so divided in our party, let alone how my opponent, Daria, has campaigned on these things. I really hope the DRC process works. In the meantime, I'm very proud of that Assembly member Jovan Jackson won his re-election. His opponent made a whole smear website against him over what our party filed. We got our website up, though, and people are donating to support the nonprofit from around the country. I think the 23rd should definitely send a donation after what they put all these leaders through. 4 months of investigation, having to send all kinds of documents, etc. That I mentioned, all of them are black and formerly incarcerated. People who have overcome the worst life circumstances to claw their way.
She left out of that and made the worst life choices.
To claw their way out of poverty and mental health issues. I want to just point out something here really quick, and I think this is really important.
Mm-hmm.
That website didn't get registered till July 29th. What happened before July 29th? We roasted her over an open fire like a pig with an apple in its mouth. We lit her up, and they decided, oh, crap, we'd better get something out to face the public for this nonprofit that I just donated $30,000 of my campaign finances to.
Mm-hmm.
So this is not suddenly, oh, well, this is what we were planning to do the whole time. This is Tara Simmons covering her ass.
Mm-hmm.
And if anybody sees anything different than that, I just challenge that, because I would have thought they should have had a public presence before she gave them $30,000. And even if they have a public presence, guess what they haven't done? We've seen nothing about a mission. We've seen nothing about advocacy in the community. We've seen nothing about them doing anything to help anybody in need. We've seen nothing to see them on the streets. We've seen nothing to see them doing anything. Okay, now they have a website, and she's asking for donations. And her comment, everybody in the 23rd should donate because of what they put us through. Bitch, you're an elected official. You're expected to be asked questions of.
Well,
where did the money go? How did you spend it? What are you doing for what we put you through, asking you to send documents? If you think you're being put through something by asking you to account for your actions, you're an elected representative. You work for us, not the other way around. That's ridiculous.
Better Minds, Better Communities, Nevada-based nonprofit, does not have an active official website. Interesting. I and listen, I don't know if she's talking about
website address.
Yeah, I don't know if she's talking about anything that we did particularly, but just to her comment about asking questions, when her expenditures
you have to answer questions.
Correct. Her expenditures as a sitting state assemblywoman caused us to ask questions. And what happened? We got blocked.
Yeah.
So it's a very disingenuous comment. But of course, she'll say, what was the word she used? Oh, yeah, we're disgusting.
Yeah. Well,
Amber, am I disgusting?
Only in bed.
Good answer, baby.
Listen, but I want to read this to you. This is what's on the website.
I'm disgusting.
We're all disgusting. Here's what's on their website.
That's disgusting.
It's called
I clean myself.
It's called Free to Lead.
Once a week, whether
2026 Free to Lead. All rights reserved. Free to Lead is a fiscally sponsored project of Better Minds, Better Communities, a 501c3 organization. So that website is up. Okay. Free to Lead is a national movement building political power by recruiting, training, and supporting formerly incarcerated and justice impaired leaders.
Hold on. So it's not a Better
office.
Minds website. It's supporting another national movement.
It's Better Minds, Better Communities has sponsored this nonprofit. And by the way,
well, that's a choice.
Well, and here's the other thing too. Better Minds, Better Communities started out as what? Weren't they homeless in the beginning? And then it was mental health for youth, and
then became leadership,
and now became leadership, and now it's
morphed through 3 or 4.
And now it's for formerly incarcerated people to get involved in politics. The target keeps moving, folks. I mean, she has the attention span of a squirrel. Because this stuff is just bouncing around more than like a pinball machine, man. I just, how does any of this make sense to you guys? And here's the problem.
See you next Thursday.
Here's the problem.
Well, it's not Tuesday. We already used that.
Hold on. Can we do CUNTS and have the SB Sunday?
Well, then
see you next this Sunday. See you next this Sunday. There you go. But listen, it would be so much easier if somebody from the 23rd would come on and talk about this. Like, just answer the questions.
You know what? I'm not going to let any cat out of the bag. But you know what, Kevin? We have people from the 23rd leadership that are going to be coming on this show.
But they're not.
That's all we're going to say about it.
But what I'm saying is, maybe I'm wrong, but the ones that support Tara will not come on and answer the questions.
No,
they won't come on and provide information. They won't come on and respond to this. As I said 3 weeks ago, this whole thing could have blown over. We could have asked Tara questions. Where did the money go? How is it being spent? Why did you donate $30,000 out of your campaign coffer to a nonprofit out of state? And she could have came on here and she could have said, I did it because I really believe in the mission they're doing. And I benefited from being able to come out of my incarceration and do something good with it and help people. And I had people help me and right? And none of this would even been an issue if she just answered the questions. But she deflected and she denied and she lied and she blocked and she ran and she hid and she acted like victim. And she played like she was a victim. And by the way, why is Tara bringing up people's race in the conversation? Because Tara, I hate to break it to you, but you're white as Casper. So I don't know what race has to do with anything because you're benefiting from it as a white person. So it's not about anybody's race.
You said Tara.
Tara.
She's also Latino.
Okay. And I'm Native American.
I'm just for clarification.
I get it. She claims to be Latino. Perfect. Okay, great. I can't vet it. And by the way, I don't run around here using my Native American heritage to beat people over the head with it. I'm Native American. How much Native American am I?
A little bit.
I am. Hold on. I am
Just
half.
enough?
I'm half of a sixth.
Well, that's better than Pocahontas.
No, I'm not half of a sixth. No, I'm an eighth. Sorry, I'm an eighth. I'm an eighth. Yeah, I'm an eighth.
But that's enough to put you on the register.
But well, no. According to the way that the federal government defines these things, if you're 0.0000000000001 of any minority, you can identify as that minority. So Tara can claim that she's Hispanic all she wants to. She looks white. She talks white. She presents as white.
Apparently, that was a problem at her nonprofit.
but to me, it doesn't matter. But on the left, they talk about you are what you present as. You have white privilege. So I need Tara to own her white privilege. If that's the agenda she's going to own, if she's going to dry hump the leg of the far liberal party, then she just needs to come out and say, I got white privilege.
Well, it's important to recognize the fact when people make the comments, you are what you eat. It ain't true for me, baby. How you doing?
How you doing? It's so nefarious. It's so nefarious. She said, well, I'm not doing anything nefarious. No, you are. Like everything you're doing is nefarious. Everything is dirty. All of this thing stinks.
There is a complete lack of introspection here.
There's a complete lack of honesty. It's not even introspective. She knows exactly what she's doing. She's had a lot of introspection.
Do you think she is unintelligent, or do you think she's kind of like naive and like
I think she's dirty.
Or is she calculated?
I think she's dirty and calculated. Okay. Listen, you don't make it through the bar if you're not smart. You don't trip your way through
Whoever
the bar.
brought these nutter butters in is evil.
Paul likes putting nuts in his mouth. Listen, you don't make it through.
Welcome,
you don't make it through the bar if you're not intelligent. That is not an easy process to go through.
It's not an open book test.
You do not get elected in state office if you don't have some social cojones to you. You have to be able to get up and talk to people who disagree with you. You have to go door knock, and God knows what you're going to run into. And I would assume if Tara was knocking on doors in the North End when she was first running for office, because I guarantee she doesn't do it now. That's my guess. I could be wrong. She got a lot of people that pushed back on her and said, you're a convicted felon. Why are you running for office? So she's not unable to have conversations. She doesn't want to have conversations. She's not naively being led down a path by stupid people. She's puppet mastering some of this stuff. She's a smart broad. She really is. We've talked to her several times. I sat down across the table from her at Sherry's before all the Sherry's shut down with my pies. And she's not dumb. She's not Joe Biden, guys. She's just not. She's not Jay Inslee. She's just not. Jay Inslee was dumb as a box of rocks. And I know that because I sat across a table and interviewed him. And that dude could not figure up the upside to a light switch.
Well, he passed the bar exam too.
But again,
many years ago.
But again,
Sure. Yeah.
he was not smart. Tara is
that's
smart.
never the impression I got of Inslee.
Tara is smart. She's really bright. And those are the ones that are most dangerous. The people that have skills and smarts and brains,
The
and
kind of
they
people who
use
know
it.
how to set up multiple nonprofits in order to funnel money. I'm just throwing it out
Some
there.
of the smartest people you're going to meet are criminals. They really are. Because they figured out how to work the system. They figured out how to fly under the radar. They figured out how to line their own pockets. They figured out how to get out ahead. My personal opinion, I'm not making accusations, but I don't think Tara's doing anything on the up and up right now. I just don't.
I'm going to make a comment here to Tawny.
Hi, Tawny.
Who we just had on a couple weeks ago.
And by the way, Tawny, I saw that you said you had leukemia. Is that active, or are you in remission? Or because you mentioned that, is that something you were dealing with during COVID, or is that now? Because I swear to God, if it's something happening now, I need you to come back because I want to pray for you. But go ahead, Paul.
I did not see that comment.
Me either.
But I will say this. So she brought up an interesting point, Tawny. I would invite you to come back on the show so we could have a very open dialogue and conversation about this, because I totally understand what you're saying about your white privilege. I want to have a conversation with you about that because I don't think that that's a real thing. I'm not saying you're wrong, and I'm not even saying that I disagree with you, because I do understand where that comes from. It's just something that I'm saying that I have a very distinct feeling about it, and I would love to talk to you about it.
Tawny says, I'm not in remission, but I take it in stride. Tawny, if you
I had no idea, Tawny.
If you
My
ever
heartfelt prayers.
If you ever want to stop in, seriously, if you want to stop in, I'll pray with you. Like, that's the most powerful thing I can do for you, because I'm not a medical professional. I know nothing about nothing, but I would love to pray for you.
But he is an ordained minister.
I am an ordained minister, and I've almost got my bachelor's in biblical theology. Lila said white privilege is real. Unlike
your master's.
Masters.
What did I say?
Bachelor's.
I've already got my bachelor's.
Yeah.
Sorry. Thank you for catching that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Tawny, you let me know anytime. We're here every Sunday. You don't have to come on the show if you don't want to. You can come down here. I'll pray with you in the parking lot. I'll sit down here. I don't care.
Yeah, our hearts go out
anywhere, anytime. Lila said white privilege is real, and I really do believe in white privilege.
Yes, and I absolutely respect that some people do believe in it, but I think I firmly stand on my belief on the issue, as we've talked about it over the years. I'm not going to judge anybody who says that it's real or says that they have it, right? Like, I understand where the actual programming comes from to make people believe that that's true. I can firmly present, I believe that there's enough empirical data and evidence to support the fact that that's more, in my opinion, that's more of a pejorative type of comment, and it's generally used by people on the left in order to devalue the opinions or something that somebody on the right has to say. But again, we can have that conversation, and I'm happy to, as long as it's a good, respectful conversation. And I think all of our listeners, whether it's Tawny or Lilat, I think that we can have those conversations, and maybe you guys will convince me and change my mind. You never know.
I honestly, I think the idea of white privilege is very geographical.
Absolutely, could be. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you see a lot of it here.
Absolutely,
not in Kitsap County.
Yeah, well, I think that you make a valid point. Maybe it is just geographical, and because I've spent most of my life living here, but when I lived down in Kentucky, I certainly didn't see any white privilege, especially in the backwoods.
I think there's some parts of like the Old South that you
for sure might
see.
You've got, but again, it depends. I would want each person to describe or explain what their definition is, because I also think the definition of white privilege is different for different people.
There's some studies that were released that showed that people who had African American sounding names like DeAndre, Shanique, whatever, right, were 10 times less likely to get chosen for a job interview than people with white sounding names. And I don't know how they came up with it, but it's a peer reviewed study. It
still happens today.
Yeah, it still happens. So that's what I mean by white privilege. Paul, I don't think it's anything that you're doing. Like, you're not going out.
I know it's not anything I'm doing.
And saying
but that's
I'm
not
white,
my issue
so I get to be treated differently. But there are perceptions that are inbred into our society.
Yeah, well, there you go with inbred again.
You are Polish, but there are perceptions that get layered into our society where I think that being white has advantages.
Well, if you want to go to college, so does being black.
Depending on the colleges.
So listen, and that's my point about the white privilege conversation. For every point that somebody would make about an advantage that a person that's white has, I can point to an equally advantageous issue that somebody of color would have, no matter what color they are. So again, it's like I said, it can be a great conversation.
I guess my question is, what's the point in the conversation? Because are we?
Well, it is a very public cultural narrative right now,
right? But
by a good portion of the country, they believe that white privilege is a thing, and that if you are white, you automatically have advantages in life because of the color of your skin. And I think that leads to racism.
We're not playing on a level playing field. That life is not fair. It never will be fair.
Agreed.
It will never be a level playing field.
Agreed.
Some people are born in families with money.
Yes.
You
could say you're financially privileged. That I would agree with.
Sure. I mean, life will never be fair. And I have got a really funky
two people born at the same place, the same time, the same family are not going to have the same advantages in life.
Yeah.
Correct.
I mean,
I
look,
have twins. I can.
Well, look at Paul and I. We're close to the same age. We have a lot of the same similar interests. One of us is incredibly sexy, and the other one is Paul. I mean, it really is not fair how some people get.
Even though you were telling a joke there that nobody clearly believed, I'm just making the point that if people talk about, like, if you said I have privilege,
Amber, it always goes back to the third leg.
If you had privilege, I think that's a very different conversation than saying white privilege. You see what I'm saying? So because there are lots of things in this world that can give a person privilege, right?
Yeah, growing up in a family
Yes.
with both parents could be a
Absolutely.
Sure. No, I don't disagree with that.
That's a huge advantage.
Yeah, I mean,
I just think that the word white is thrown in front of that again as a pejorative to take away from a conversation.
but the other part of it is, if you look at the population based on race, our population in the United States is still
70% white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Hey, really
Kevin,
quick.
do you get free health care through the tribe?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be secondary.
Is that Native American privilege?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, listen, you and I have talked about this before.
Mm-hmm.
I know how blessed I am to have the gifts that I have because of my Native American heritage and some of the other stuff that happened to my family that they paid for, that I'm reaping the benefits of.
Yeah.
So again, you'll never hear me say I'm anything other than blessed and privileged.
Right. Well, Tawny went on in her comment, and again, I'm not picking on you, Tawny. It was interesting that it stood out to me because she made the point that she was talking about she could wear a hoodie into any grocery store and that Trayvon Martin was shot for wearing a hoodie. I think it's a lot more complicated than that, right? Because George Zimmerman was Mexican who shot him. And there was a physical, I'm not saying George Zimmerman was right by any stretch of the imagination. Do not get me wrong. But there was a physical altercation that took place between the two of them, right? I don't think that it had anything to do with what he was wearing or where he was at or the color of his skin, because it also happened at night. So, again, but those are conversations we could have. We could have a nice conversation about it, and I think we could.
I think we have to own the fact too that the media stokes this stuff.
100%.
Again, I'm not saying that Trayvon was not a victim of something. That's not what I'm saying. But every time this happens, every time a minority is shot by a cop or by a white person, the media trumps the thing up as racism every single time it happens. And at some point,
well, a prime example was Obama's beer summit.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. At some point, if you're always screaming wolf, people are going to get numb to you screaming wolf. And so now we've lost this idea of evaluating every situation individually to figure out, is this racism? Is this whatever? And we just assume that they are now, which I think waters down each individual event, right? Instead of having huge outrage for what happened to, what was her name? Breonna
Taylor. Yeah, she was the young lady that was killed when the police served a search warrant, and she was shot by, whether by incompetence, ignorance, racism, whatever. I mean, none of us will ever know. But
instead of having monumental outrage for what happened to Breonna Taylor, now we just have this baseline level outrage every time it happens. And that's a disservice to what happened to Breonna Taylor. Because what happened to Breonna Taylor,
it was tragic and horrible.
And I don't advocate for street violence, but those are one of those times that I would say, okay, I can understand why somebody would start burning the block down over that. Like, I can see that. And it didn't happen.
Right.
There's now not this massive anger. It's just this baseline all the time now. And nobody really does anything specific about any one thing because we've just lumped them all together. And now we're getting numb to it.
Well, and I tell you, I personally adopted my thought process after January 6th several years ago about the whole idea of white privilege, right? And why did I change my perception on it? Because 92% of the people that were arrested were white, and they were thrown in jail without trial, and for years, a lot of them, right? And when the cities were, when Minneapolis was burnt, and the police precinct and everything, when that summer of violence took place. Look at what happened in Seattle with the chap or Chud, whatever they called it.
Chop Chaz.
Yeah.
Chunk.
You didn't see the people that were guilty of a whole lot of crimes. You didn't see them getting arrested and prosecuted.
No,
but the white privilege sure went out the
job.
Yeah, well, yeah, and the white privilege sure went out the window after January 6th, didn't it? So again, and that's what part of why those conversations need to occur, right? It's like without those conversations, we all just kind of stay ignorant and shooting in a round room and talking in a vacuum.
Yeah. Well, really quick before we get to parting shots, can I do something real quick?
Well, you're going to.
Oh, here we go. Today we salute you, Mr. Born to be Triggered, the Paul's Vote for All legend whose villain origin story began the moment somebody disagreed with him in 2009.
Oh, it's me.
You didn't choose the meltdown life. The meltdown life chose you.
It chose you.
Every harmless joke becomes a personal attack.
Attack!
Every differing viewpoint becomes a traumatic flashback. And when Outlaw Radio Network speaks, you transform our number one fan into a dramatic supervillain.
Be an outlaw.
Powered entirely by outrage and Facebook notifications. So Outlaw Radio Network salutes you, Paul Voll, the villain who rises every day to battle the forces of humor, sarcasm, and
Change
reality.
their name. Paul's vote for no one.
I love you, Paul. I really do. I love you so much. All right. Do we have anything else you want to get to before we get to party and shots? I know you need to go home and not please your girlfriend. So, what do you? Is there anything we need to talk about before we go? Is there?
She ain't screamed your name yet.
But she's thought about it. She's thought about it. Amber. How you doing, baby? How you doing? All right. Do we have any other topics to go over before we do party shots?
No.
Or
It's fine.
we're ready for party
We can
shots?
go to party shots.
Lori, do you have any
We got
party shots
commercials
for
to
us tonight?
record real quick.
Yeah, just pay attention. Summertime. Weather has been kind of funky. Make sure you're looking out for motorcycles. Make sure you're watching out for, dare I say, kids, young adults on those scooters.
Don't assume their ages. That's ageism.
Whatever.
Look out for
on
Paul's vote for all.
scooters and on the electric bikes. Apparently, I was talking to a police officer about those at Costco while I was looking at one. Apparently, they can go up to 28 miles per hour. There's no license needed.
Yeah, anything over 250 cc's, I think. I think that's the threshold.
And,
and then they have
no
to do a
helmets.
power equivalency.
Yeah.
But they are required to wear helmets, right?
No helmet is required.
There's no helmet law for bicyclists.
Yeah,
Because that falls under the umbrella of a bicycle, not a
Yeah.
motorcycle.
it does
All
not.
right, there's
follow-
no law in Washington to make you wear a
Correct.
helmet. Well,
There's no law in Kitsap for bicycle
Oh.
helmets. You have to wear a helmet in King County.
Yeah,
King
King
County
County.
has a
but
helmet law.
Kitsap doesn't have one.
Kitsap
Correct.
doesn't
I
have
didn't
a.
know
And
that.
again, it comes down to cc's on the electric
Right.
motor. So
So, anyways, pay attention because
yeah, that's a great point, Lori.
we have in my neighborhood we have some kids that built like a lawnmower go-kart type thing, which is cool.
It is
And
kind of cool.
I think it's great.
Good for
because-
them on getting out and doing that stuff.
because they're-
Is it with?
They're not on their phone.
Is it with EV?
Huh?
The kids in your neighborhood, is it with EV?
I don't know.
Is that a
Are they-
venereal disease? Or?
No, electric vehicle. You know, are they doing like an electric kind of go kart or
No,
something?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure it's gas.
Okay.
It,
'Cause-
it
well,
books.
okay.
And it sounds like a lawnmower.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Because you got to be careful. I know of
Yeah.
a garage that caught on fire
Mhm.
because kids were out jumping the electric scooters,
Oh.
and it cracked the case on the lithium battery. A little bit of air got in there, and whoosh,
Yeah.
up in
Somebody
smoke.
got hot pants.
Yeah. So I mean, you
Imagine
got
writing
to be
that thing.
careful with some of those lithium batteries.
Yeah, and I know for a fact that there's two dads that were testing them out before the kids were
Oh,
allowed to go on.
perfect. All right.
Yeah, because they were zipping up and down the hill, it was cool to see the project and see the kids be
That's
part
awesome.
of it and
Yeah.
all that. But
Well, Gen X's, right? We grew up with that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we didn't.
Yeah, we just didn't have lithium batteries to set
Right.
our garages on
Yeah.
fires with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dad, I'm going to turn this lawnmower into a street racer. Good luck,
That's a
kid.
great idea.
Right? That's what the parents would say. Whatever, have fun. Be inside by the time the sun goes
I think
down.
we should Outlaw Invitational this year. We should race riding lawnmowers. Yeah.
well, remember in our parade when we were growing up?
Yeah,
They
they had
had the
them.
Warm Beach Lawnmower, whatever cheer
Yeah.
club or something.
Up
They
in
would-
Stanwood?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
would literally ride their lawnmowers, decorate them, and up and down the
Ar-
parade.
Around my little block,
Mhm.
just down the way, there's every 4th of July, this guy gets all the neighborhood kids together, and they do a lawnmower parade with the little trailers and stuff. Throw some hay bales in, decorate everything up with American flags, and they go around. It's like a 1 mile trip around the block. And there's, I don't know, a couple summers ago, there were like 15 lawnmowers with trailers and piles of kids. It was cute.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Anyways, so pay attention when you're out there in your cars. That's all I got.
Okay. Thank you.
And isn't it HBO Max? Seattle Seahawks.
Yes.
Yes.
Hard knocks.
Yeah.
Hard Knocks.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not paying for HBO Max for that.
Oh, you can borrow
I
mine.
have a daughter-in-law.
So you
that
can borrow
has it,
mine.
So I'm watching it while
Yeah.
babysitting.
It doesn't start yet. I think it starts in like 2 weeks or something like that because they need time to edit the footage and everything.
I'm not sure.
I'm gonna have to look it up.
Yeah,
I'll look it up.
I just saw a promo for it, and yeah.
Yeah,
I
Kevin, I've noticed throughout the show. Just sorry saying this before I forget that your camera pauses.
Yeah, it does.
So
it does.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
That's really
like it's
bizarre.
paused right now on the live screen, and then your head just finally moved. But
that's
No,
weird.
it wasn't on mine.
It was on mine because there ain't no way you sit still for that long. And you definitely don't keep your mouth closed for that long. Tom, you got final thoughts, bud?
I do. One of the things I've noticed with all this political division that we're experiencing now, it's all a little amplified at the moment. I don't know when it started, but it seems that people go and
1859.
Yeah, maybe.
Paul just pulled a date out of his ass.
I totally did.
Washington became a state in 1858.
Right.
I mean,
There it is.
No, that was 1889.
Oh yeah, 1880.
was it 89?
Yeah.
That was 58. What?
Who's counting?
Yeah, whatever. I was reading.
I'm gonna have to double check that.
I
now.
don't know. Whatever. One of the things I've noticed is people go and form an opinion, and you should have
1889.
80. Okay. Yeah, and you should have an opinion, but your opinion's not a fact. So you can't
Absolutely.
you can't treat your opinion like a fact, and that's half the problem we have right now.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I was.
Dude, I
gonna
was
say
just
something
gonna.
about that.
If you didn't show that, I was going to grab it from you.
No. That's part of this right now. So if you want to protest, if you want to yell and scream, I mean that's great, but this is your best means of protesting.
100%, dude.
You know,
As of last count, I don't know what it's up to, but surely it's higher now. But it was like 12% or all that had voted last week.
20.
Is it up to 20?
On when I was looking.
That's good.
You've
That's
got
good.
time.
I mean,
Got
it's
till Tuesday.
To me, anything less than like 50% is pathetic.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know. So,
you have till 8 p.m. on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other thing is you can follow your actual ballot.
yes, I got a text that said mine had been counted. That's the first time I've ever gotten that. I
And
was
you
like,
can follow it online.
yeah,
That is pretty cool, actually.
yeah,
that they do
I
that.
totally dug that, man. I didn't even know to look for a text, and I just got this text that said your ballot has been counted. Follow your ballot here, and there's a hyperlink.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm getting texts from candidates. That's all I'm getting.
Heather gets a
Lots
bunch of
them.
those.
Yeah.
I don't really get very many.
You guys obviously aren't in the demographic because all the women that I've talked to, we're all getting slammed.
Oh.
In the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, Heather gets them all the time. But
Well, at least she ain't
I-
going to complain
I
about getting
never do.
slammed on a regular basis. That's for sure. I'm just saying, she's the one sitting here talking about it, or was.
Was. Anyway, anything else, Tom?
No, that was it really.
Good job. Vote.
Please vote.
Vote.
Please.
Vote.
Please vote.
Vote. Especially if you're in the 23rd.
Mhm.
Vote.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah,
wanna
I
see
mean,
those metrics.
I bet you the 23rd is going to have some good numbers, some
Oh,
good
yeah.
turnout. I mean, even
I'm gonna
with
be
the primary, I think there's going to be some good turnout.
It will be
in the
interesting,
23rd.
won't it, to see? So we'll see on Tuesday night because
Yeah.
obviously Tara and Daria are both making it through. So
Right.
Yeah.
it's kind of a moot point, but it still will be interesting to see the turnout.
Oh, yeah.
And it will be interesting to see. I'll give my final thought now, Kevin, and then you can bloviate for a minute.
Go ahead.
To the points that were just made, your ballot is not just a civic duty, it's your responsibility as an American. It is the way for your voice to be heard. I understand when you think my vote doesn't count. I get that. I understand that, right? As I spoke about a couple of weeks ago, we know that illegals are voting, right? And that cancels out a lot of votes. But if you're a husband and wife and you vote two separate ways, you're canceling each other out too. So that's not a reason to not vote.
Yep.
The only way to make a difference is to vote. So vote, vote, vote. That's it.
Okay.
And
Wait,
Lance Bird's in
yeah.
our chat right now agreeing,
Hey,
please,
Lance.
yes, please vote.
100%.
Lance, we'd love to hear from you. Possibly have you on.
Yeah. Here's this is my parting shot. So we didn't get to talk about it tonight, but I do want to bring it up because I think it's awful. So Governor Fergie proposed a modification of the graduation requirements for the state of Washington that would require high school students to apply for FAFSA before they're able to get their diploma.
That's for going to college for those of you that are.
Well, it's funding. It's funding for college. It's not even to go to college. It's,
Well, you can't get it if you're not going to college.
No, but I know. But what I'm saying is it's not about going to college. It's about providing all the financial information for you, your
That's where I was
parents,
going.
all of that. You don't have to accept the FAFSA, but you have to apply for it in order to get your diploma. That's the proposal.
Is it just me, or does that seem like way too much power, way too much data in somebody's hands?
That's what the problem is. I remember what I had to fill out for my FAFSA stuff.
Yeah.
And it was very invasive to my folks.
So I want you guys to be aware of that. I think it's dangerous. It's not going to influence me because my kids are old enough and have it, but I think it's dangerous for anybody that does have kids. I think it's really dangerous for anybody with their private information. The state could not protect unemployment during COVID. Why do you think that they can account for all this other stuff? And what's going to happen when all that stuff has to be filed? We're going to have another government agency created that's going to spend more taxpayer money for another level of bureaucracy for something that they don't need.
More bloat.
FAFSA is important and should be available to everybody, but why would you make a requirement that people have to apply for something when they may not even want it? They might want to go to work on the family farm. They might want to go in the military.
Or in the trades.
Yeah, there's a number of things. Why would you require them to have to provide all that information? I think it's really dangerous and really risky and really a bad idea. So read up on that.
I'll have to do
Follow
some
that.
research because I'm curious what his excuse was for trying to do this.
I personally, in my opinion, it's a way to create a de facto tax department without actually.
I would agree.
Yeah,
Interesting.
and they've been hiring for.
I freely admit I don't understand the connection, but I trust you to. And if that's what you're but I'm just gonna. I need to do some research. I was unaware of it till I got here tonight.
You can't. I mean, without having a tax department and mandating that everybody fills out a state tax return to get ready for the income tax in quotation marks. This is one way you can do it because now you've got your demographic of all these kids who now are required to fill out FAFSA. So now you've got all the parents or the family's information. Now you can start honing in who's got what income.
The 10%, because as we discussed in the past, that 10% millionaires tax, if you own 2 properties, you're going to fall over that $1 million threshold, and then they can tax you.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're going to need to sit down and give us a class on tax law.
And again, it's information that they don't need.
Yeah.
They just don't need it. The state doesn't need that. And I think it's really dangerous. It's really a bad idea. So something for you guys to just keep an eye on and pay attention to it. So anything else, guys? We good?
No. Well, Rick brought up it's probably illegal because McCleary established education is a right in the state. Withholding the diploma, if earned, might violate that. It's a really good point.
Yeah.
That's a great question. Yeah.
Thank you, Rick. You don't have to be a stranger, dude. Kevin's the one that gave you herpes, not the rest of us. Oh. I'm kidding, Rick. Love you, dude.
Damn.
Rick and I have plans in September. We're going to go see Rod Long, who's a hilarious comedian. If you've never heard his stuff, he is a riot.
Hey, Paul, pass the
never heard of him.
Valtrex.
What?
Pass the Valtrex.
Pass the what?
Nothing, man. I was trying to make a herpes joke.
Hey, it could be like that guy that Tara teamed up with down in Nevada that had sex with his patient, gave her herpes, then prescribed her off the record the medication to help her.
Yeah, Valtrex.
Yeah. Anyway,
The fact that
I
you know
don't know the name of
medication
that
so
stuff.
well
The
is
fact
pretty
that, yeah,
scary,
I mean,
Colin.
it's a little odd that, but listen,
You know what
dude, to each his own.
You know what I love about those commercials though for Valtrex? Is it looks like everybody who has herpes is having a great life.
Having a great time, aren't they?
They're riding bicycles, rowing in kayaks, cliff jumping, hang gliding, scuba diving. Like
those big pharma commercials, man.
If I'd realized that having herpes was going to give me such a life, if I had known that herpes privilege was a thing, I would have signed up for that because, herpes only shows up once in a while.
Right.
But you're having a great life the rest of the time. Amber, no yawning. You don't get to be this bored until Paul's trying to get naughty with you.
Dude.
All right. We love you guys. We appreciate you. It's Outlaw Radio. We'll see you guys next Sunday right here at outlawradionetwork.com. Please pray for Amber. She is in for a very rough night tonight. Good night, everybody.
dance moves. Let's indulge all those dark urges like there's something to prove. Let's put the kitties